Okay, here we are again. However, I need to get my notes up because there ain't no way in hell we're going to be able to do the Arcane Labyrinth if I don't know what key terms I'm going to use to spawn each of the floors. So give me a moment to do that. Probably also get a map while I'm at it. Okay, I have the key terms, and I don't have a map, but I do have the Arcane Labyrinth page from the wiki open. And what you can do from that page is you can click on a key term, and you can go straight to the page for that term. Some of them have maps, some of them do not. We'll make do if they don't have a map, but if they do have a map, there are certain ones today that I just know I'm not going to be able to get through properly without a map. One very specific one actually keeps track of how many steps you've taken, and if you fail it, you have to basically restart, and I don't think I want to do that, so we will attempt to avoid that. Also got the air conditioner off to start with again. Something tells me it's not going to last very long because it rained overnight, but that did not drive the heat down at all. If anything, it raised the humidity, which makes it even worse when it's really hot. So we'll see how long it takes me before I turn it back on. I'm betting like half an hour tops, so. So I just turned it off, like as soon as I was done. Getting everything set up. I just turned it off before I turned on the stream. And it's already starting to warm up in here to the point of being uncomfortable. I have attempted a quick fix of putting a towel in front of the seam on the bottom of my door, see if that is where the heat is leaching to, or the cold is leaching to. It is not leaching over there because the cold is going everywhere but in here. I'm imagining it probably is. It's an equilibrium thing, right? Like, so it's going out the window after coming in here, and it's blowing through a coolant anyway. So like, you can only get so much out of it. That's the point. So we'll see what happens, and I might need to go cool off just a little bit. Man, must be Summit Falls being pretty close causes a little choppiness, but I'll tell you, I could cool off by going on the snowcraft, but something tells me that wouldn't actually make me cool off in real life. It would only make me envious of the fact that these guys are up north where there is still snow, despite it being near the end of June. This heat wave needs to go away. That's all I know, or I need to move. One of the two things needs to happen. I mean, maybe both. We'll see. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy II, the stream edition. Last time, we finished up pretty much all of the main story stuff other than the final two dungeons. So we got Leon back in the party after raiding Castle Palmesia. We got him dual wielding at the moment, although I do have some words to say about the dual wielding in a little while once we actually acquire. We're going to go into the Arcane Labyrinth today, and we're going to acquire another weapon for him that I'm going to equip instead of the Ripper for him, and that'll basically be part of his endgame gear. And also I'm going to get a piece of armor for him that's better for him, I think, than the black garb. So excuse me, so that's our plan, basically. We'll go in there, grab some stuff, and then we will, we're probably going to be able to get all three of the labyrinths done today. I have to park over here for this one because it's like in the middle of a big forest over here, so we'll just run into a few encounters along the way, see what we can do about them, and then, I don't know, just go from there, I guess. I don't even know if it's worth it to spam Holy and Flare on these guys, but I'll do it anyway. We don't have Osmos for Farian just yet. However, I did get all of my other materials ready for the Labyrinth off-screen. So I got a Toad Tome, and I went over to the Colosseum to see if you could, in fact, re-enter it. And you can re-enter it, and the enemies there are the same as they were. The only issue I was running into was the fact that the wizard encounter despite the fact that we got it as like our first encounter in there on the stream when we were there, the wizard encounter itself is so rare that you hardly ever run into it. So I spent like half an hour looking for it, and then I said, oh, that's fine, I'll just get it on a guaranteed floor. Because the Arcane Labyrinth is a, well, relatively unique dungeon. I like this one a lot better than the Labyrinth of Time from Final Fantasy I's PSP content, because we all... I remember, at the very least, I have nightmares still about the Sekhmets from the Labyrinth of Time. It's been 6 years, and I still hate those guys with a burning passion. I just recently replayed Final Fantasy V. I saw a Sekhmet in the Pyramid of Morn. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Not this guy again. But, yeah, I like this one a little bit better. The way that it works is that the seals on each of the 3 labyrinths are determined by the key terms system that you've been using to ask NPCs for more information throughout the game. And there's some things you can do to play around with this system in order to determine the treasures that you'll get inside of on the maps, and most importantly, increase or decrease the encounter rate. And you can guess, judging by the fact that I'm at endgame with endgame level stats, what I would much rather do at this point. So we're going to try to group our words together and cluster them together in such a way that it decreases the encounter rate, because if you increase it, it's going to be even higher than the base game's encounter rate, and the base game's encounter rate is already pretty atrocious, so let's just not do that. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to use all 15 of the key terms that we have from the very beginning of the game. However, in order to get through the entirety of the Arcane Labyrinth, this one is 4 floors plus a key term to get to the boss. The next one is 7 plus a key term, and then the final one is 10 plus a key term. So 4 and 7 is 11, 10 is 21, and then you need 1, 2, 3 key terms, 24 total key terms, in order to get to the end game of this, if I'm remembering that correctly. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just counting from my list. If I have everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah. Yep, so you need a total of 24 terms, key terms, in order to get through this. As you can see, we only have 15. However, inside the labyrinth, you can actually learn new key terms by accomplishing objectives. As an example, for the first floor we're going to go to, let's go to the Ultimatome floor. That's the only problem, by the way, that I ran into when I was structuring how I wanted all this to go, is that we're not starting from like Wild Rose and going straight through all of our key terms in order, which would probably make sense, but it causes the encounter rates to be all over the place in here, and I'd like to get through this before I die of exhaustion or old age, so let's not do that by running into 6 million encounters, shall we? So you told the seal Ultimatome. You step on the teleporter, and now you're on the floor where Ultimatome takes you, and apparently it took me back to the Rebel hideout with the Mysidian Tower music? Okay, huh. Well, let's have a look around, shall we? There'll be a few enemies around here. After a while, by the way, in this game, you get into kind of a rhythm where you can look at the enemy encounters if you have enough agility to run away from them. And you can kind of say, oh, okay, I can run away from that, you know. So, like if it wasn't a monster in a box or if it wasn't a boss encounter. Usually, your worst bet is if it's an undead enemy or if it was a boss encounter previously, or in this particular case, if it was a monster in a box. Because even if you have a preemptive strike, you usually can't run away from it, even if there's only one of them. So, that being said, that Rios is pretty easy, so. It looks like this is some sort of a magic school. That would explain the Mysidian Tower music, even though it looks like the... Oh yeah, literally a school, because this guy's majoring in white magic. I guess they have them dorm in separate places, even though it looks like the Rebel hideout. The power staff that we got over there, by the way, is one of the normal treasures here. Treasures can be bad, normal, or good, depending on what key terms you used before you spawned the floor. We used 0 key terms before spawning this floor, so the treasure will always be normal. But, depending on what we spawn on the next floor, it might have good, normal, or bad treasure. I'll talk about how you sort that out in a minute. First, we gotta talk to this guy, if I remember right. Hello there. Yeah, I heard. I mean, hey, listen, I already know what Ultima does. If you want it, I got it. So, Okay. Sure, I can make a donation to the library. How about the most powerful spell in existence? Yeah, he actually has dialogue for the Ultimate Tome, which is surprising, but, I mean, usually with bonus content like that, you do something like this, and it's like question mark, single question mark, but he has actual dialogue for this. Okay, fair enough. So, maybe something a little bit less rare, but still rare, like a Toad Tome? Okay, good. Alright, sounds like a plan. I hope you guys have some luck analyzing its sorcery. So yeah, here's our first key term that we've learned through the Labyrinth. Now these do not do anything in the base game, so like if you went to the Mysidian library, there would be no entries on sorcery. However, they do allow you to spawn new floors within the dungeon itself. If you try to ask him about sorcery, by the way, even though he just said it, he'll just give you a single question mark, so I wouldn't bother. And now we just gotta find the exit. So what we just did is we accomplished an objective on the Ultimate Tome floor. We gave him a Toad Tome, which is what he needed in order to have him give us the sorcery key term. I don't know how you're supposed to know that ahead of time, but I did, so there you go. I mean, this is still the era where they were selling strategy guides, so that's probably how you were supposed to know ahead of time, is look at the guide, but, you know. Yeah, well, now they've changed the terminology of it. Apparently in the Pixel Remaster, body is like psychic and mind is like spectral or something like that. I don't know, that seems fishy to me. Like, I hear psychic and I do not think body elemental spells. Body, mind, and matter just seem to make sense within the context of the game, because it was like, okay, so this affects your body physically, this affects your mind mentally, this affects your molecular makeup, you know? So, and there's a bunch of treasures on the floors. I'm going to seek out certain treasures on certain floors, but not all of them, basically. So I'll let you know when we're going to do a bunch of looking. I believe if you press no when it asks if you want to break the seal here, it will give you a teleporter that will let you leave the dungeon, but that will break your entire progress with that dungeon. You'll have to start all over again, so let's not do that. Let's give it the next term. And by that I mean the term we just learned, sorcery. So now what I've just done, the Ultimate Tome term is related to the sorcery term. Terms that you have in the game, key terms, fall into one of 4 different categories. They could have something to do with concepts in life and nature, matter or materials made from matter, magic and spirits, or locations on the world map. So Ultimate Tome is related to magic. It's about the Ultimate Tome. Sorcery is also related to magic, because you use sorcery to cast spells. Most of the time, the categories, once you know the 4 categories, it's kind of self-explanatory, like the Jade Passage, Palamecia, those are locations. But some of them are not as self-explanatory as they might first be considered to be. For example, Cyclone is considered a life in nature because it's an element of nature, rather than a location, because, I mean, you went to it in the game, but a cyclone physically is a storm. That's a force of nature, so... but, like I said, most of the time, the terms are pretty self-explanatory. The reason why you might want to look this up before doing the Labyrinth, so you can structure your terms in a certain way, is if you say terms repeatedly that are related to each other, it decreases the encounter rate and increases the quality of the treasure on the next floor. So now that we're on the sorcery floor, because Ultimate Tome, which is related to sorcery, was the previous floor, we get access to the best treasure available on this floor, the good treasure, and the encounter rate is lower than normal. Both of those are very good things, and I would like to do that as many times as possible. So the way that I've structured our trip through the Labyrinth from here on out is that the terms that I use will always get us the good treasure and the low encounter rate, with one exception, because I didn't have enough terms to do it the whole way through. There is a 5th category of terms, and we'll run up against that in the 3rd Arcane Labyrinth that we go to, but don't worry about that for right now. Let's just apparently not have a low encounter rate at all, because hello, here's the enemies right away. Alright, well that's fine. We'll just blanket cast a fire, blanket cast a life spell, and see what happens. Guy got to him first, so they're definitely all dead. You can also use the Wyvern, by the way, if the encounters are too weak to bother with. I probably should have there, honestly. Excuse me, because the encounters there, I'm pretty sure the Wyvern could have killed most of those except the Revenants. So, And this one I can run away from, so we will. I'm going to run away from a few more encounters today, probably, than usual. Uh-oh. Chimeras. Not just any chimeras either, but we'll talk about them when we get there. Actually, I think we might have already run into these chimeras somewhere else, so, but we'll see. I don't think anybody needs to do anything other than Guy, honestly. Like, just get a thunder going and they'll all be... Well, no, actually, I'm pretty sure with a blanket thunder, we need Firion to contribute a little bit, so... Just blanket a thunder spell and then do that. And there we go. Yeah, he doesn't have quite enough on the Thunder level 7 to get rid of these guys, so we'll just let everybody else clean it up. And we should be good. Probably won't be gaining any more knife levels for Leon in here. We'll be fighting some strong monsters, but not, like, that strong, honestly. So, we'll see. You never know, right? I don't think I need a map for this one. The hallways are pretty linear, but I'll let y'all know if I do at a certain point. Let's just see if the Wyvern... So the way that the Wyvern works is you can use it as an item. I don't think I've used it as an item before this. It'll use Blaze 7 on your enemies. So do Blaze 7, and it'll blast the field. It does not take into account your spirit or intelligence. When you use an item in battle like that, it doesn't take into account your spirit or your intelligence in order to factor in the damage. It just deals a flat amount of damage as if the person using it had between 40 and 50 spirit or intelligence, depending on what it casts. So Blaze is effectively used, the Wyvern is used effectively as if Firion had between 40 and 50 intelligence, so he'd get about 200 to 220 damage out of it. And sometimes that's actually useful for something that I'm going to talk about after we're done in the Labyrinth, but we'll get there. Either way. Oh, okay, I mean, I just figured it was a monster and not even in my way, it was off on the side, but, you know. Sure, why not? Okay. Oh, thanks. My magic's now even stronger than it was before. And that's good, because we have to fight a Chimera Sphinx with it. So since he wants us to demonstrate magic, let's just demonstrate magic. We'll use Holy and Flare. Although, actually, I should probably use Osmos, and I'll have Firion... Well, he can't Osmos, but I'll have Guy Osmos if he gets the chance. So. Holy shit! 2,300 damage? Now that's what I'm talking about. That guy wasn't kidding. No? Ah, so this guy is a proper researcher, and he needs the sufficient sample size in order for his research to go through. As it turns out, N, which is the sample size here, is equal to 5. So we need to find and defeat 5 Chimera Sphinxes in order to accomplish the objective of this floor. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I like the Arcane Labyrinth, is because there's just objectives for you to do, but none of them are ever, like, really, really intrusive or long-winded. It's just kind of like, yeah, okay, just go accomplish this objective at your own leisure. But you don't have to, either. You could just as easily to say, screw it, and I'm going to leave the floor, and then just go to the exit and just go all the way through the rest of the labyrinth without accomplishing the objective. You don't get the key term at the end of it if you do it that way, but sometimes you don't need the key term, so... Like, there will be a couple of floors that we'll do here that I'm just literally going to say, okay, screw it, I'm just going to leave, but, you know. If you say no there, I'm pretty sure you don't do the encounter. Like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't let you do the encounter, so... that's why I said yes each time. I honestly, I haven't tested this enough to know whether it does or doesn't do that, so... But you should get a full MP out of your Osmos from this thing every single time, honestly, because it's... I mean, you're acting as if you effectively have 99 spirit or 99 intelligence with... I don't know if it's a level 16 spell, probably not, but I'm pretty sure you're acting as if you have 99. Or maybe it is just a whole double. Maybe it's literally like, hey, Firion, you have 94 spirit under that white robe? Here, have 100 and... What would that be, 92? No, that doesn't sound right. 188, that's what it would be. So. And if it is that, then, man, I don't know what that guy's giving me, but I'd rather have that than a Sage's Wisdom or a Saint's Spirit. Oh boy. Can we run from bombs? I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, well, it was worth a shot, I guess. How about you heal, because everybody's good there. I don't think we're going to get fire to level 10, unfortunately. Honestly, I don't think we're going to get any spell to level 10. Like, I did a test run through the Arcane Labyrinth before this, and I did it a couple of days ago, and I don't think we have enough time, because we're going to be running from a few encounters. So, I mean, unless we get, like, some really... Like, we get a whole bunch of encounters that are inescapable, I don't really see it happening. We'll see, though. There's another Sphinx, so let's go this way. I think the exit's to the left down here. Now, remember, this is with the low encounter rate going on. Can you imagine if it was on a higher encounter rate? Because I don't even want to think about that. The encounters are already high enough as it is, and I can run from most of them. Have it any higher than this, and oh my lord. Well, there's a Sage's Wisdom at least, so that'll help Guy out a little bit. Sure, why not? Alright, Chimera Sphinx number 3. Did Guy get the flare off last time? I'm pretty sure he did, so let's just do Holy this time. I should probably have you practicing Protector Berserk if possible. Just because, you know, that way you can just level them freely on these Chimera Sphinx, which are rank... I think they're rank 7. So that should get you quite a bit of experience. There we go. Not enough. 2 more to go. Okay, so this was a boss, so no running from this one. I guess I'll just holy you, attack you, and then you guys in the back are vulnerable to fire, and then attack you. We could get some magic defense out of these guys, but... Nah. I don't think we need it all that badly. Most of us don't. I did, in the process of trying to get the Osmos Tome from the Wizards, I did manage to get both an evasion and a magic defense increase for Leon off-screen, so that was kind of nice, actually. Got, like, I want to say 4 evasion now, which is pretty good. It's not 6, like Maria, and he'll still get whacked upside the head pretty good, but yeah, we should be fine. This one I can run from. It's one of those nice things about Malboros in this game is that they are threatening because their attacks inflict multiple status ailments, but you have high enough evasion, high enough agility, you could just run from them. So that there is pretty good. Let's see, Maria got an HP increase in there for some reason. Don't know why, but I'll take it. I didn't have him practice Berserk again. Okay, well, he'll be able to practice Berserk in the next Sphinx battle, and then he'll have gotten experience for one of each spell, basically. Okay, 1 more to go. I believe we've already seen it, so shouldn't be too big of a deal. And don't worry about it if one of your characters fails to run away from a battle that you can run away. It just... Sometimes you just roll low, and then you just don't quite get it, which is fine, you know, like that'll just happen. I'm not even going to bother with the single target spell for the Red Moose, because Holy will just blast it off the field anyway, and so will Flare. We'll just get rid of him. Bye! Now, the one concern that I still do have in terms of all this stuff, I said, you know, we probably won't get to level 10 in any of the spells, just judging by how much time we have left in the game. I do think there's a chance. Now, granted, it's only a chance, but I think there's a chance that we won't be able to finish the game with everybody below 2,000 HP. Just because Leon gains so much HP at each HP level up, it might make it difficult for us to manage there, but I'll see what we can do. It might happen, it might not. We'll see. I don't think we can run from those rays, so I said, screw it, I'll just fight it. Alright, last Sphinx. And last Amplification. And another Preemptive Strike. Naturally. So let's do the Osmos thing. We'll let you practice Berserk. And then we can just first come, first serve. You don't have to defeat these things with magic either, by the way. It's just he doubles your magic power, so, and his experiment is focusing on magic, so I figure I might as well just use the magic since he said I should. So, maybe that's why we're blasting these things for 2,400 damage, because he said use magic, and to be fair, it was pretty potent. So, nice. Well, glad I could help. I mean, when you have a soul as stout as my own, it's pretty easy to do. Yeah, so we wanted to get the key term soul as well. In order for us to get through the labyrinth all the way entirely, we needed to learn 2 key terms that have a category. We'll learn 4 that have no category, but that's part of the story of this area, so we'll talk about that when we get there. And then we also needed 3 key terms to unlock the boss of each area, so that's 5, 9. We needed to learn a total of 9 key terms. That's our second one. So there you go. And then they'll just repeat their line if you talk to the same person that gave you the key term in the first place. Obviously, like I said, if you ask them about any of that stuff, they'll just give you a single question mark, so that's not really helpful. But we don't really need them to help at the moment. We've got that all handled now. So, yeah, Holy and Flare Blanket should just send them to the great beyond. Like a blanket! Alright, there we go. I'm just going to guarantee it now. When we're done with this labyrinth, I'm definitely turning the air back on. It is already blistering in here in terms of the heat. Like, I cannot handle it. Shouldn't interfere in what we're having going on, though. I've already kind of done all the explanation work for the Arcane Labyrinth, so from here it should just pretty much be us just wandering around, meandering through a bunch of floors that feel random, but are actually being selected on purpose for a specific order to make things easier on us, so... Alright, so now we'll use Soul as our next key term. And that will bring us to a floor that also has good treasure and a low encounter rate. Now, we don't need to accomplish the objective on this floor, though. What you're supposed to do, I think the objective giver is around here. So these are all grave sites right here in this place that looks like the Cave of Mysidia. There's a guy that gives you an objective around here, and he tells you to guide the souls to the graves that they actually were buried at. I'm not going to do that because, quite honestly, I couldn't figure out how the hell to actually manage to do it. Like, I tried it off screen and I was like, what the hell? This isn't even working. But, to be fair, we don't even need... You'll get, I think, the Mercy key term if you've accomplished the objective, but we don't even need it. I'm just gonna find the treasure around here and then move on. So Leon's already above. Yeah, look at all the HP he just gained. That's, what's his stamina at? 47. So approximately every 2 levels, he's gaining about 100 HP. So we're on borrowed time in terms of the amount of battles we can fight before that becomes a problem. And he gets above 2,000 HP, which is way more than he'll ever need. So. I mean, I would try, but I'm kind of in a hurry. So there's a bunch of different rows of graves here. I believe there's 3 rows, and there should be, I don't know if there's any treasures in this row, but I guess I can check. It's not like the enemies here are giving me trouble running away, so... Stop running away! There's an orichalcum there. Not what I'm looking for, but again, the treasure that we're looking for here is, should be a little bit easier to find. Maybe I'll cure everybody. Is everybody low? Not low, but they need topping off, so... If I even get it off before Guy goes absolutely hog wild with his fire spell. But he did not, so... We should be fine. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of blitz through this floor because I want to make sure that we get this done today in a reasonable amount of time. Oh, another magic defense for Leon. That's nice. There's the soul right there. So what I think you're supposed to do is you're supposed to guide it to its grave. So you ask it and it'll tell you what its name is. And then you don't talk to it and guide it to its grave. I think you're kind of just sort of nudge it. Like, you say, okay, well, I'm going to walk behind you, and so you prevent it from walking towards you, and so you just kind of nudge it all the way to where it's supposed to go. I tried doing that with one of the spirits off screen, and I had absolutely no luck, because it would just talk, like, say the same dialogue over and over again that had absolutely nothing to do with going back to where it belonged. It just... like, I'm just gonna say this one line over and over again, even though I'm on the tile that should be my grave. So, I got nothing. I don't know what you're supposed to do here. You could probably look up a walkthrough that actually knows what they're doing here, but I'm just here for the treasure, man. I'm not here for anything else. So let's go find it. should be able to see if any of these are dead ends as well while we're looking for this stuff. So the one to my left is not a dead end, okay. You know what? I don't even care what that treasure is because it's not the one I'm looking for. I know where the one I'm looking for is. It's over here. All the way in the top right corner, if I remember correctly. Although I don't think it's up on the day. I think it's actually... Can I? No, didn't think so. Okay. Because these yellow souls were a monster in a box, I think, at one point. So that's not going to work. But we could just do this and then we'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm just going to leave whatever it is. I know what I'm looking for in here, so I'm just going to go find it. And then we should be good. More agility for Guy. Yeah, it's back there. I believe, anyway. Okay, that's a drain tome. That's not what I'm looking for. Watch it be in the chest that's over there. Okay, so you guys will cast Cure on me. I don't know if I care enough to let you cast Cure on me. I think I might just explode all of you. Or do I Osmos one of you? You should give... let me Osmos all of you. You should give me MP because Osmos is non-elemental. So. We're going to find out. I'll take that. Yep, there goes all their MP. Wah, wah. Not going to be casting Cure anything now. But to be fair, you served me much better than casting Cure 7 or 8 or whatever the hell on my whole party by doing what you just did, by standing still and letting me Osmos you. So. Is it this one? Alright, I'm starting to get sick of all these undead. You guys need to go the hell away. Just give me the dual heads and the dual deads, because those guys I can run away from. I mean, it's not like the battles take that long. I'm just complaining to complain, I guess. And the guy's getting intelligence out of it, too, so I shouldn't complain too loud. This is what I'm looking for, the Osmos Tome. So you can actually come in here, and as long as you use a term related to magic and spirits before you say this key term, Soul. So now you have Soul for the rest of the game. You can say it whenever you want at any Arcane Labyrinth from here on out, after this one. And you can just come here and get infinite Osmos Tomes if you want. Infinite Drain Tomes, all that stuff, infinite. Or Calcums, I guess, because that's another thing that we grabbed while we were in here, so. But what I was doing is just basically to get this Osmos Tome for Firion, because that will round out our list of spells for the entirety of the playthrough, basically. I think there's one more spell that we'll get at the end of the Arcane Labyrinth, but it's not really anything that I care about. So now, as long as I'm not fighting undead, Firion can be just kind of... Yeah, there's the undead. Firion can just kind of use Osmos to practice it a little bit, and he should be in good shape going forward. Even though his intelligence isn't very high, you don't need it to be very high for Osmos to work out pretty well. So. Excuse me. Now, he won't be getting, hitting for quite the numbers that Guy is, where he's just kind of grabbing all of their MP at a time, but that's okay. He doesn't have to. We'll just make it work. I'm going to use an Ether on him, though, while Osmos... Could you get out of my way, please? Thank you. While Osmos is still level 1. Anyway, so this next floor is the last floor of this labyrinth. This labyrinth is 4 floors plus a boss floor, so we're going to say Ekmet to Lois is our next one. Now, we don't know the gimmick of the Ekmet to Lois floor. At least not yet. Certain floors of the dungeon, instead of giving you a new key term, will give you a hint for other key term floors. I don't remember where you get the hint for Ekmet to Lois, which floor it is, but I'll just tell you the gimmick, so... The exit's below us. We gotta go through a winding pathway to get to it. But above us is the objective. There are 3 paths at this objective. The one to the left gives you nothing, but asks for nothing in return. The one above you asks for an item and then gives you an item. The one to the right just wants to kill you, so naturally that's the direction that I'm going to go. Because I ain't afraid of no ghost, as these guys can attest, because I'm about to blast all of them off of the field, but I'm also not afraid of whatever monster they have waiting for me at the end of this pathway. So. Now, the pathway that you choose determines what monster you're going to fight. I believe it's different variations on... Well, we're in the arena, so take one guess as to what it's going to be a variation on. I'll let it be a surprise for anyone that doesn't know at the moment. But yeah, if you see this soldier at the end of the hallway, that's the correct hallway, at least in terms of being able to get the best rewards out of this. Say the magic words, huh? They're not bubbly bubbly boo, I'll tell you that much. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so say Akhmet Telos to that guy and he'll let you pass. Old man will let you pass for a Phoenix down, I believe, and then there's a kid over there that just lets you pass for nothing, if I remember correctly. But which one you go to changes what's about to pop out of this door. So, yeah, sure, I'll probably be fine. I've fought a behemoth before. Why does this one feel a little different? Well, holy crap, a dark behemoth! That's why he feels a little different, because this is a slightly stronger monster than the regular behemoth. As a matter of fact, this one was exclusive to the Soul of Rebirth content prior to this version of the game, so yeah, you can actually face it in the normal content now as part of the Arcane Labyrinth. You would have been able to face it anyway in Soul of Rebirth to complete the bestiary, but now you can do it ahead of time, and that means that its loot table is available to the regular cast of characters as well, so... Ow! Well, that's what I get for not casting Blink on Maria right away. But, I mean, it would have done the same thing to Leon if I had let him sit pat, so... it's all good. Alright, let's see what you two end up with after we protect Berserk and haste all of you and Blink. I'll probably have Firion just use Osmos next turn. Because I want Maria to kind of hang out, because that way she can get an HP increase. I don't even know if this guy has MP, to be fair. I don't want Guy to cast Osmos, though, so I'll just let him defend this turn. I don't want him to take all the MP before Firion tries to do it, so... He's got a little MP. But yeah, see, all those extra hits from haste actually allowed me to get a little extra damage off with the Ripper Knife there. Yeah, do it again, why not? We're gonna kill him this round anyway, so let's just see if you guys can slurp up a little more MP. Firion won't take all of it, but probably Guy will take the rest if he gets it off before Maria does that. Goodbye. See ya, sir. Oh, and I got a little extra intelligence out of it, too. Oh, we got a knife level as well. That's not bad. And he gave us a power armlet. Not that I care about any of his drops at this point, but, you know. Yeah, no kidding. He was not even something we could fight previous to this, so... A giant beast in the woodlands, huh? We'll learn woodlands as well. Although we won't need woodlands for the specific reason that we've been needing terms before this. So, like, before this, we've been using key terms that have been associated with the other key terms that we've used. So, like, we've been using all stuff that's related to magic and spirits. Woodlands is not magic and spirits. I believe it's a location, if I remember correctly. So, if you switched over from magic and spirits to location, you would get bad treasure and a high encounter rate. However, because the next floor is the boss floor, it doesn't matter which term you use because there are no encounters and no treasure to get. So, just keep that in mind. If you know how many floors each labyrinth is, you can kind of plan around that. So, that's what I did, and that's why we're able to do what we're doing now. Alright, but anyway, let's head for the exit now, and then we can finish off this labyrinth. I don't think any of the labyrinths have secret passages and walls, if I remember correctly, so I wouldn't bother looking. I'll grab the treasure while I'm here, though. Might as well. I think you should be able to finish those guys in the back row with Flare. Pretty sure we've done it before. I probably should have Osmosed with Guy, but that's fine. We can always do that on a different floor. Although, we probably don't need it because we're about to be finished with this labyrinth, so I don't have to be, like, super fancy with it, you know. I don't think there's anything in these chests that I actually care about getting. The Osmos Tome was the main thing in this labyrinth. The next one, I don't think... Well, it has a couple of good treasures, but nothing that I personally care about, I don't think. And then the following one does have a couple of treasures that I actually do care about, so... Well, another unicorn horn, that's not bad. Not that I don't already have like 5 of those burning hole in my pocket, but, you know, it's not terrible, I guess. Yeah, I can Osmos these guys, actually. I'm gonna Osmos that one. You can Osmos that one. Do that. But that way I can guarantee the guy will get his Osmos off before Leon just myrtleizes the guy. That didn't take quite all of his MP, but that's fine. You should take all of his. There we go. He only had 30. I thought he had more than that. Oh well. Just flare. And then off they will go. Except the red soul, he'll survive. But that's okay. Hell, I might Osmos the red soul by accident here. Never mind. Maria got to him first. No, Osmos is level 2. That's a good sign. Is the treasure up here? Yeah, it is. This is the last one. So, an ogre killer. Oh, okay, cool. Nothing that I need, but you know. All right, let's break this seal with woodlands and see what kind of giant beast lurks therein. Well, this doesn't look like woodlands. This just looks like the northwest quarter. This looks like the entrance. Like I said, this is the boss floor, so that's why it looks like the entrance. There is another door here. However, before you can go through this one and break it with a key term, you have to show the voice your strength by fighting a boss. Oh man, Tiamat? Now they're really hitting me with the blast from the past here. Yes, we have to fight Tiamat, and it's not exactly the same as it was in Final Fantasy 1, but Tiamat does have access to a bunch of different elemental spells, so we'll work on that as we go here. Probably get hit by a couple of them before I can Osmos away all of her MP, but, you know, that's fine. Shouldn't be a huge problem. And then blink up Maria, get Berserk going for both of you, get haste going on Leon, get Berserk going on Leon. He's got level 3 now, so that should be pretty good for him. He'll work his way up slowly but surely. It's one of those things, doing the Arcane Labyrinth with him in your party now will probably only help him going forward, because he can kind of get all of the rust out in the process of just going through here. He can level up some spells, you can figure out what equipment pieces you want him to use, all that good stuff, without having to do it in the middle of the final dungeon, you know? Because that wouldn't really work out. So, I don't think that was all of Tiamat's MP, but yeah, no, because here she goes casting Poison Cloud 16, which we almost all have resistance to now, so not too bad. Get a little more. There we go. I don't think that was all of it either, but you know. Not bad, Leon, not bad at all. Alright, so now we can start casting the crazy stuff. Might not even get it off before, okay, never mind. Let's see before Maria does that, but she didn't get too many berserks this time, so that's okay. Made things a little more interesting. You can get some really powerful equipment from Tiamat as well. Most of the bosses you can fight at the end of the labyrinths, you can get some really powerful equipment from, no matter what point in the game you're at, so worth doing. Alright, so it said the power of the seal has been released on this labyrinth, so this will kick you back out to the beginning of the labyrinth. However, if you go to the sanctuary now, one of the days is lit up. Once all 3 of them are lit up, you can actually go inside of the sanctuary, and then you can collect up your prize. So that's what we will go do in just a little while, once we manage to find all of our stuff. We gotta beat the other 2 labyrinths first, though, and that one was more of a tutorial in terms of how long the labyrinth is. The next ones are longer. The next one is 7 floors plus a boss, and then the other one is 10 plus a boss, so will take a little bit longer to get through, and that's fine. We're going to make a quick pit stop in between each one anyway to go rest at an inn and do all that. And thankfully, the other ones don't require me to walk over to them, unlike this one. This one's the only one that requires you to walk to it because it's out in the middle of a forest, so more magic defense, more aura, and another toad that I don't need now. I forgot that sorcerers drop that. Well, there you go, I guess they do. You know, I'll use teleport on this one. And then you can just flare the guy in back, do that. And then we should be able to get into Salamand without running into 60 million monsters. I'll go to the inn and I'll rest up, and while I'm in the process of getting that all situated, I'll go turn on the AC. Because I'm dying over here, so we gotta fix this. It's not okay anymore. I'm not asking. This is a command. More strength, another toad tome, thanks. I'll sell all the junk that we got later from the labyrinth because we don't need to sell it now. It's just gonna burn a hole in my inventory for a little while. It's not like we need to buy anything extra. We've got all the goods that we need in order to get through the whole thing. So, oh yeah, I'm jabbering instead of doing the AC. Hold on. Okay, it's been less than an hour this time, 49 minutes, 22 seconds, and it is already, Hunter's Cage is already almost 90 degrees. That's what kind of humidity and temperatures we are dealing with today. The sun needs to go in. and stay in for a while. I know, that's not likely to happen because it's the day before the summer equinox, or solstice rather. Equinox is spring and fall. But, you know, it could have a little mercy on us. The people in Salaman don't say anything new, by the way, since you got the Goddess's Bell, so I wouldn't bother talking to them. Just kind of leave them their own devices, but yeah, like I said, you can literally just park right outside with this one, so we'll just do that. I'm going to save real quick, because the thing about the Arcane Labyrinth is you actually cannot save inside the labyrinth, which is a little strange. I feel like I can kind of levy that as a genuine criticism against the game, because like that means that a fundamental aspect of the way the game works changes depending on where you are in the game. But like, yeah, as you can see, no save. It's blacked out. I can't use it. It's grayed out, so it's unusable while you're inside the labyrinth. I mean, I guess it makes sense because there's a lot of coding going on in the background in order to get all of this to work, but like, I don't know. I just feel like that's a weird thing to all of a sudden just do, you know. But anyway, let's break the seal on this one with a term that's probably going to have a little bit of an easier time with us running away from monsters, that being Mithril. We have to accomplish the objective on this floor in order to get the key term, but after that, well, I'll probably still accomplish some of the objectives, but probably not all of them, so. Alright, I think I remember this one. We gotta kind of meander around here, but the enemies here are going to be the same as, like, Summit Falls, basically, so stuff you can pretty much just run from. Incidentally, one of the things I can talk about is the fact of the matter that you can come to the Arcane Labyrinth and work on the floors at any point in the game, and depending on how many key terms your characters know, it will change what types of floors are available, obviously, because the key terms that you have are the ones that will tell you what floors are available. Oh, I went the wrong way, I think. I think I gotta go this way. But it'll also change the boss that you have to fight at the end of each section of the labyrinth in order to get what you need. There's the exit. We could just go straight that way, but I need to accomplish the objective for the key term, so we'll just go do that. I also like how Maria is actually gaining on Guy's HP now, because she actually has more stamina than Guy does, so she's getting there closer and closer with each level. I don't think she'll ever overtake him, but it'll probably be pretty close by the end game, so that's kind of cool. I mean, I could look for some mithril ore. I already have some in my inventory, but it's not ore, it's just raw mithril, so. So you have to, that's the objective of this area, is go find mithril ore. There are 5 wells scattered throughout the level, and you have to look in each one. As far as I'm aware, you don't find the mithril unless you look in all 5. I've never had it find mithril on the first go. I always have to look in all 5 in order to get them. There's 2 on this side, so we're going to go look in them first, and then we will go from there. I don't think I can run from land turtles, can I? No, because it was a monster in a box. That's fine. We have enough attack at this point to break through its massive defense, so I don't care. The next floor we will just be running right through, though, so. Yeah, and you have to defeat a monster when it's not the mithril ore that you're looking for. A bunch of deadheads, which means we can't run from these either because they're undead, so. Like I said, as a general rule, undead, monster in a box, boss. You can't run from any of those, but you can run from pretty much everything else, so. You know, why did I even use life on them? I could have just used the wyvern and blown them away. I'm going to do that next time. I hope I remember to do that. Mental note. Not that it means much, but mental note to self. Use the wyvern. Because, yeah, you gotta fight. Usually it's like between 1 and 4 deadheads. It's like a sub-boss, which, I mean, makes sense, because it's playing the sub-boss music, the mysterious boss music, not the compelling one. Alright, so that's 2 down. I think I can go this way and get to one of the other wells, so. But yeah, all these early encounters, except for the ones with land turtles, we should just be able to run away from without too many problems. So. We have so much agility at this point that we'd have to all roll really low in order to not be able to run away from them, so. Alright, wyvern worked pretty good, so let's just do that again. Should accomplish this objective pretty quickly. And the next 2 floors, I'm actually just going to run straight through, I think. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do the objective on the next floor, because it's kind of interesting, I guess. Not something you normally do in this game, so it might be interesting to watch, I guess. There's no way to know exactly what you're supposed to do until you kind of trial and error your way through it, but, you know, we'll see. I mean, I guess we should have enough time. I'm not super concerned about that. But yeah, see, we've already checked 4 of the 5 wells, and unless I'm just getting really unlucky, I'm pretty sure you have to check all 5 wells in order to get anything out of this. To continue on what I was saying, you can come back here at any different times of the game, and you'll fight different bosses at the end of each labyrinth. There is a purpose to that, though. If you come back here and do the whole labyrinth, you can actually do the entirety of the labyrinth with just 4 key terms in your inventory, because that gives you enough with the ones that you learn in order to pass through all of the labyrinths. You'd just be using terms repeatedly. So like you'd use some terms for the labyrinth over by Salamand, you'd use some of the terms here, and then you'd cycle to the beginning of your list, and then you'd use the same terms in the next area. But it gives you enough of them. You have a total of 11 key terms, so that's enough of them to get through all the labyrinths without reusing a key term in any given labyrinth that you go to. And if you can do that, you can come here as early as once you have Minwu, like right before you go talk to Sid about the Sunfire. You can come in here and you can just very easily plow through, well, not plow through this place. It's going to be pretty tough at that level to plow through this place, but you can come back here at those times and you can just, you know, do your best to get through them. It'll get you some pretty premium treasure, the whole thing considered. There's one area that you can go to that has, if you accomplish the objective in one of the other floors that we're going to go to, there's an area you can go to get a Men-Gauche before you're even remotely close to getting to the Dreadnought. So that's pretty good. There's some pretty solid stuff. There's a Unicorn Horn available. There's a Slow Tome available, which you normally can't get until Finn, which is a long ways away from that. So, but yeah, we needed his key term mirror. Well, we don't need it, but it's the one that I'm going to learn for the purpose of this labyrinth. So there you go. And now that we've got that, we can leave. I just figured that would be a nice simple one to grab, honestly, so that was why I said, okay, well, we can run from pretty much all the monsters here. The enemies, it doesn't matter too much. We can just do that. So now, Mithril is a material. It's considered in the matter and materials category. So the next areas that we need to do need to be in matter and materials. So one of the things that are constructed from matter or materials are the masks. So let's go to mask. Excuse me. Now, mask is an interesting one. I think there's a flame shield available from one of the chests here, but what you'll see is there's a red button on the floor there. If you go further north, you'll notice that there is a doppelganger of Firion up there. His up-down is reversed from your up-down, but his left and right are exactly the same. So, if I go up, he'll go down, but if I go left, he'll go left. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what to expect out of this. I might be able to osmose you for some MP before a guy absolutely destroys all of you with flare. Never mind. No osmose from me. If you get the Ripper earlier on in the game, by the way, you might be able to defeat some Black Flans with it. Oh, they have MP. Okay, I thought they had none. Because you won't get any damage out of the actual hit part of it, but the additional damage that's done by the Ripper for each hit that you get is not determined by anything other than the number of hits you get, so that might make it a little easier to actually do that. Alright, so you need to go... I need to get you over here somehow. Let me go to your side so I can see if I can just do this. Hold on. And then just, oop, no, hang on, send you down there as much as possible. And then I think if I do this, you'll get stuck on the pillar, right? Yeah. So now we can kind of guide you from where we can actually see you, so we'll try to do that as best we can. Let's see. Maybe get you down. Nope, that's not going to get you down here. There we go. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Then get you over here as much as we can. 1. I can do that, I guess. Of course, then I gotta walk this way, and it's not gonna help you any, but, you know, I can walk all the way down here and go like that. I can walk this way and kind of be able to see what I can see here. Go all the way that way. You're stuck right now, so that's going to be fine. I can just go like that, and then get you like that. Actually, I don't know if you're stuck on anything right there. You are now, so I can kind of make you go that way a little bit. Let's see if you're stuck on anything right now. Now you are. Okay, so I can get a better view of the area if I go like that. So let's go down a little bit so we can kind of bring you up. Okay, that's not going to work, but I can kind of do that and then go like that. Okay, so now you're stuck there. Now what you need to do in order to accomplish the objective here, you not only need to get this thing to step on the button, you also need to talk to it. So it can't leave the button when you talk to it. So it's a little tricky. That's why I would rather do this with the encounter rate low, because then it's easier to just walk it everywhere, you know. I might be able to do it like this. Nope, that's not going to work either because I have to walk down, so... Although that might work a little bit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. Okay, now where are you stuck at? Okay, so right now you're stuck on the button, but I'm going to have to put you back in place in a second because I'm going to go up and you're going to go down, so... how do I do this? I can do that. There we go. Thank you. Why do you have it's not even like a lisp, it's like you just sort of overemphasize every syllable. Except tundra. So we're not going to grab tundra. I don't need it. I just figured I'd accomplish the objective. On certain floors, I'll just accomplish the objective so that way I can show you, okay, if you want to accomplish the objective, here's what you can do. So, there you go. Oh, I had a little think off screen in between streams about shell and barrier. I still think barrier will be handy somewhat because Leon doesn't currently have all of his status protection. Neither does anybody else, honestly, except for I think Furion has his because of the dragon shield and the white robe. But my thought process was, so if you use a tome in battle, it's similar to how the Wyvern works, where it's cast as if they have 40 to 50 spirit or intelligence. That's the same for a shell tome. So if I bought a shell tome for 300 gil, it would cast shell 8 on the party as if the person using it had between 40 and 50 spirit. And since the shell itself has a base 50% success rate, that means you'll almost be guaranteed to get 8 levels of shell with almost no effort. So I might just waste my money on shell tomes, honestly, in the future. I won't be wasting much of it because, you know, they're not that expensive, but... There's another flame shield here, by the way, so... Where's the exit? Oh, it's up here. Okay. Yeah, so I might spend some money on shell tomes because those might actually be a little more handy to us, so... Anyway, next place we're going to go. So, another construct, an airship. This floor, however, is one of 2 that I actually am just going to run right through. The objective on this floor is to help the builders here grab all the materials that they need in order to finish building the airship. But I ain't getting paid for that shit, and they are. So instead of doing their jobs for them, I will just move on because it's a nice quick floor that I can run away from everything. I believe the exit's up here, so... Because you have to wander between all these barrels and boxes and wood and everything else, and it's just... Everything in here is a maze, and I don't think there's any items on this floor to get either, so... And it's a really early one, because you get this term when you have Minwu, so... It's not really something that I'm like, yeah, okay, we can do that. However, if you do the objective in this one, so basically you talk to everybody and you say, okay, so what do you need? And they'll tell you, I need nails, or I need a saw, or any of that stuff, and they'll kind of give you hints as to where to find them. You go find them and you accomplish it, you'll get the wind key term, and the wind key term, if you use it as, it's a life in nature, it's a concept of life in nature, so if you use it after, like, say, Cyclone, if you use wind right after Cyclone, you'll be able to get the Mengosh from one of the treasure chests in the wind floor. So there you go. We won't be going to the wind floor, but I figured I'd just point it out because that's probably the best treasure you can get if you come here really early with Minwu. So there you go. Now, we're going to swap over at this point to locations because the Dreadnought Is it a location? No, I think the Dreadnought is still considered matter and materials because it's an airship. Maybe it's considered a location, though. So you can swap between life and nature and magic and spirits, and that will get you a normal encounter rate and normal treasure chests. Same thing with matter, materials, and locations. If you swap between those two, you'll get a normal encounter rate, normal treasure chests. If you swap between life and nature to matter and materials or locations, basically you can swap between 1 and 3 and swap between 2 and 4, but you can't swap between 1 and 2 or 1 and 4 or 2 to 1, any of those combinations. So basically, things that are in the real world and are not conceptual or magic-based, you can switch between them and not have a bad encounter rate. Things that are spiritual, conceptual, you can switch between and not have a bad encounter rate. You try to mishmash the real world with the conceptual world in here, and it does not work out. So there's a whole explanation for it on the wiki that's actually, I think, better than the FAQ on GameFAQs about it. The GameFAQs FAQ for the Arcane Labyrinth is not so good, and I may genuinely write one myself because the one that's on GameFAQs, no offense to the person that made it, but they did all of their research based on their memory of playing through these areas, and that just, like, no, just play through the areas again. It's not like you don't have access to them. Stop right there, criminal scum. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Not again. Okay. What makes you think I know how to repair an engine? Yeah. No time to explain, cool it off. Yeah, so when it says cool it off, that's your hint as to how to fix it. Again, I don't know how you'd know that right away, but to be fair, if you don't know how to accomplish the objective or you don't have the item to do it, you could just leave the floor. Like, you could just go back to the thing, because the exit is not behind. The objective does not lock you off from the exit on any of these floors, which is really nice because it means that you don't have to worry about not accomplishing the objectives. So I'm just doing them because I might as well. Oh. Yeah, that would be crazy. Me, an intruder? Never happen. Yeah, so this is what he's talking about. The floor will turn red every now and again, and when the floor turns red, you'll get into a forced encounter with a sergeant with every step you take. But it's not even just every step you take. As long as you are standing inside the zone, the red zone, you'll get into a forced encounter. So you can't just, like, stand still and they won't see you like a T-Rex or something. If you're in the area, you'll get into a forced encounter with a sergeant. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Speaking of forced encounters with a sergeant, you can also get into forced encounters with a sergeant by speaking to the sergeants that are in the field, but they're all blocking the way to the engine anyway, so these ones I don't mind. It's the ones in red that I do mind, so. I think I can go this way to get there. No, actually, I think this leads to a chest or a dead end. Yep. One or both. You can walk around the rest of the floor where it's not red, and you can walk on where it was red. It's basically, you want to not walk on the red when it's opaque, essentially. So you want to walk on the red. You can walk on it when it's turning red, and you can walk on it after it's done turning red, and you'll be fine. But once it hits full opaque red, that's when it'll be a forced encounter if you're standing there. Not that sergeants are particularly difficult at this point in the game, but hey, if you came here when you first could, you'd basically be fighting the last boss over and over again in order to get to where you need to go, which is not really as easy as it sounds. So, I think everybody's got HP now. So, like I can heal, I can cure this round if I need to. I could probably also osmose some MP from these guys with Varian's level 2, but it's okay. I'll take the mithril axe, that's fine. Well, there's the engine. Gotta be close now. Okay. Speaking of being close, we're pretty close to getting, a forced encounter here. None of the treasure here is particularly good anyway, so I'm not gonna probably bother unless it's, like, on my way, which I think the one to my left is... No, it's not even on my way. I might grab it just for the hell of it, but it's not really anything I care about, so... Alright, let's give this a shot. I don't think it's gonna work, but... Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone else is just gonna kill Steel here. So... Mithril Helm, I'll take it for this extra money. And you guys can get out of my way. I gotta cool down this engine, just like I'm cooling down my room. So it's kind of the opposite of what you did before. Before you wanted to overload the engine by throwing something hot into it. Now you want to throw something cold into it to cool the engine off. So that's why we brought this Blizzard Tome with us. We need to throw a cold item, which an Antarctic wind also counts. into the engine of the Dreadnought. I think ice weapons also count, but most of those sell for a good chunk of money, so I wouldn't throw those in here. And that would cool off the engine. So now you can leave and tell the guy, you can go back the way you came, and you can tell the guy, hey, yeah, I cooled the engine off. What's my reward? And the red glow is gone now because there's no alert anymore. So there you go. Is it this way? Whoops. I was holding circle down. I don't think I've shown that previously, but you can do like a little circle dance if you hold down the button in battle like this. Kind of silly. But, I mean, I guess it could be kind of funny. I don't know. The exit's on the outside of this section, by the way. So, like, if you go all the way to the far outside where the guy gave you the objective, that's where the exit is. So don't worry about having to wander and meander through these narrow hallways to get there. We can just find it by going this way. Yeah, something like that. No, I would never accuse you of that. Why would I do that? All right, so we don't need Aquifer either, do we? Let me just see. Nope. No, we do not. So we can just leave Aquifer behind. Now, obviously, you could just learn these key terms and then not use them. If you don't, you know, you could just learn them and just not need to use them when you go further along. But I'm just not learning them because I don't need to use them to spawn a floor. And since I'm only doing this once, I don't think I need to bother with learning them. That being said, learning them isn't the worst idea, because if you accomplish the objective once and you don't learn the key term and you're planning on coming through here multiple times, that means every time you come here you have to accomplish the objective. So if I wanted to go through here a second time at any point after this, I'd need to bring another Blizzard Tome with me. Not a huge deal, because we could just buy one of those, but if I had to complete Ultimate Tome multiple times, I'd need to bring multiple Toad Tomes with me, which might be problematic, because it might not have, you might not have access to sorcerers on the world map if you decide to do it earlier, like when we first got to Mysidia. So, excuse me. Yeah, so sometimes it's worth it to just accomplish the objective, get the key term, and leave. Because then, if you have to come back here at any point and you want to use this term again, you could just go straight for the exit. You could just grab whatever treasure you want and then go. You don't have to do the objective again. So, now, certain key terms are special. Dreadnought is being used in this particular case because it's a special key term with the key term Palamecia right after it, or vice versa. If you do Palamecia and then Dreadnought, it's also special. The reason why it's special is because the two are deeply, deeply related. There are 5 sets of key terms that are deeply related, and by deeply related, I mean they complement each other so well that if you use them one right after the other, you will get a floor not only with good treasure on it, so the best possible treasure you can get, but also 0, count them, 0 random encounters. So we can run around on the Palamecia floor for as long as we want right now. No monsters will find us. And that's perfect because this place is complicated and needs a map. So let me get that up real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Palamecia. Map. All right, we have a map. I am a cartographer. I know where I'm going now. So, Castle Palamecia was a place that had a trap floor. You went in on the 7th floor and you fell through a trap door and went all the way down to the 1st floor and had to make your way back up. The Palamecia Arcane Labyrinth is not only a maze, it also features the same trap floors rather, but they're everywhere. So like if I walked to this chest below it, like not this part, but the other part where I could open it right down where the lock is, I'd fall through a hole and I'd have to start the whole place over again. Not a big deal when there's no encounters, but if there was an encounter right here where you'd be fighting generals and black knights and all that other crazy shit, I can imagine how this would be a little bit problematic for you. But we're gonna go, I've got the map right in front of me, so we're just gonna go where there's no holes. So go 1, 2, no hole here because you wouldn't be able to grab this wizard's staff if there was, so. There's a hole right there. Not gonna go there. We come down here. There's a chest down here. A healing staff. Cool. There's a chest up here. If you tried to come in from that little 1-tile corridor over there, you'd just fall through a hole, so don't do that. Phoenix down, that's not great, but not terrible either. Run down this side. Don't go straight to the right because there's a hole there. Kind of go this way. We could go all the way to the wall, but if we go all the way to the wall, we're going to hit a trap at the very end of that hallway. So we're going to go to this middle hallway instead. There's no traps in this one. You gotta be careful though, because once you walk here, you gotta go here. If you walk further down, there's a hole right there. If you want to accomplish the objective of this area, you're gonna want to go through the hole that is directly above me. So take a look at the configuration of the room. The hole for the objective in this area is directly above me there, and that's where you want to go in order to get the key term on this floor. It's kind of easy to remember, at least in my eyes, because if you go straight down from here, there's a treasure chest in this place. So basically the hole is above wherever the hallway with the treasure chest that's down here. But this is where it gets a little tricky, because there's holes everywhere here, and it's going to be a little difficult to figure out where we're going. So we want to go here before the L, then go down. But if you go to the right of the I, there's another hole there. So we got to go up here, but not straight up, because there's another hole directly in front of me. Then we got to go here, and then keep going. And then we got to go this way. There's a hole above me, and the last chest, if you approach it from the right side, you can grab it. So we do this. There we go. It's a cure tome, so nothing particularly good. But that was the good treasure on this floor, basically. I do wonder if this room has anything, though. We can go look, because there's no encounters, and there's just a square room over here with apparently nothing in it. All right, fair enough. So there's nobody here to tell you what the objective is, but if you fall down that hole, the person down there will tell you, hey, so I got stuck in a hole, and then they'll give you a key term. But I don't need the key term, so there we go. All right, so that's that one. Next one we want to go do is Jade Passage, because that's also... So we switched over. So we went from... Let me see if Dreadnought was a location or a matter material. Hold on. Let's see. So Dreadnought was a matter and material. Let me get this so that it's on the correct thing. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, Dreadnought was a matter and material. We switched over when we went to Palamecia from matter and materials to locations, but because Dreadnought and Palamecia are complementary terms, we had no encounters on this floor, so... But now we're going to use Jade Passage. I don't think I need a map for this one, but I'll take it. Alright, so we'll go to Jade Passage next. And we'll see what we can find. Now, the Jade Passage term is a really good term. It's a shame you only have access to it at the very end game, because there is some premium treasure on this floor. And it doesn't even matter if it's like a normal treasure set, the normal treasure set, the good set, or the bad set. You'll still get something good out of it no matter what. I'll just tell you, hang on, what you can get. So, we'll see the good treasure when we go through here, but the normal treasure includes a Betrayal Fang, an elixir, and a free haste and berserk tome. So you can get unlimited haste and berserk tomes at as long as you have access to Jade Passage. Now granted, you can get them in the Jade Passage for real. I'll talk about that when we go through Jade Passage as part of the stream next time, but there you go. So you can get berserk and haste for whoever you want at that point. Also get a free elixir, which is 50,000 gil saved. The bad treasure includes 2 potions and a life tome, not very good, but it also includes a free protect ring, which is a very powerful piece of arm equipment that protects you from instant death. So it doesn't really matter when you come through here or what type of treasure it has. Now obviously the encounter rate will be different. If you come through here for bad treasure, protect ring is nice, but not if the encounter rate is through the roof. But you can get a good thing no matter what when you come through here. That's the point. Alright, parasites are like mega parasites. We should be able to run from them. Although they probably are pretty good osmos fodder as well, because they can also cast osmos on you, so... High potion there, so that's not particularly good, but it'll get better, trust me. Now these waterfalls actually damage you when you go underneath them from the rushing water. It's only 1 HP per tick though, so it's not really anything super substantial. No. We don't need to osmos, so let's just run. I could cure, but we're going to get waterfalled anyway a little bit more, so it's all good. Yeah, see what I mean about the treasure? That's the most powerful lance in the game outside of Soul of Rebirth. The Holy Lance. I don't think we got that yet in Jade Passage, so... You can get it in the Jade Passage as a weapon, but now you can get as many as you want as long as you come here after saying a location. So we could say Dreadnought, go straight for the exit because we've already accomplished everything in Dreadnought, and then go straight to Jade Passage. Or not Dreadnought, Palamecia, and then Jade Passage. Although you might want to pick an easier location if you're going to do that first. What's a location that you could pick? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, there you go. So the aquifer that you could get from completing the objective in Dreadnought, that's a location. So you could say aquifer and then go straight to Jade Passage and you could get a free Holy Lance, as many of them as you want. So sometimes it's nice to be able to just kind of, you know how the system works and abuse it, because you can get some pretty premium stuff for it. The exit is past this waterfall, but this one looks suspicious. Can't quite put my finger on it. Oop, hang on. There we go. Still had the other window open. Ah, yeah. So any RPG enthusiast will tell you there's always a secret behind at least one of the waterfalls in the game, and this is one of them. There's a treasure chest back here. I wonder what they kept. A monster. That's not very premium treasure. Whoa, holy crap, Beelzebub! What are you doing here? I thought you were in hell! Okay, well, I guess we're fighting the Lord of the Flies again. He's a lot easier in this one than he was in Digital Devil Saga, though. And that's saying something, because he was... No, I don't actually think he was fairly simple in Digital Devil Saga. I think I had to fight him like 3 times in order to beat him, but... To be fair, that was a blind playthrough. This one's not blind, so... I have a little bit more experience with it. And you know, I didn't prepare ahead of time. I could have gotten his battle theme from Nocturne prepared in the background, so I could just play that while we're fighting him, but unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, my PSP emulator doesn't have a way to like turn off the sound channel that specifically controls the music in the background, and I can't turn it off in the game either, as far as I'm aware, so it's not like we could have the actual battle sound effects and have the music, so... Whoa, holy crap, Flare 16! That does over 600 damage to any party member that it hits, so we're going to want to put a shell up before we try to do that one again. And then... I think he absorbs fire, which would make sense because he's the Lord of the Flies and deeply related to the pits of hell, so we won't use that on him. But before he cooks us with nuclear fission again, let's put a shell up. That should give us a little more defense against that, and then we can just blast him with Flare Holy, and never mind, Maria just killed him. 4,200 damage, Maria? Are you out of your mind? Oh my lord. Well, guy got an intelligence and stamina boost out of that, so that's nice. There's a stone tablet in here, though. It has an inscription. What do we got? I know I am not long for this world. I encountered this path the demons tread on my quest to find the land of yore. Memories of the age of great magics lie on the other side of oblivion. Great magics, huh? Well, we started this whole adventure out trying to pawn off the Ultima Tome because it's not particularly useful to me. Maybe we can learn more about Ultima if we find the path to oblivion. I mean, that's kind of a dark path. It's oblivion after all, but... Oh, we'll hold on to that, and we'll think about that one for a little while before we commit to it, you know? And I could heal again, but we'll wait until there's an encounter that I can't run from, and then we'll do that. That's the funny thing, though, about the Jade Passage, is that a lot of the encounters... Okay, not this one. But a lot of the encounters, you can just run from them. It's kind of funny, actually. Do I want to... I probably should have given Guy a high potion, to be fair, but that's fine. We can figure this out. We can get a little more practice in for, you know, everything, including haste. And we should be good. I can just give him a couple of high potions after this battle, and then we should be alright. We'll just treat this like a boss fight, and, I don't know, probably cast Thunder on him, because Thunder's level 7. If we manage to get it off in time before he just dies. But, you know. The Poison Cloud shouldn't do too much damage, that's the point, yeah. So, just get this up. Go with haste on you, get berserk on you. Your berserk should be almost level 4, Leon, so you should be pretty close to being in great shape with that. Especially if we keep fighting all these rank 7 monsters, that should help quite a bit. Although after this, the next floor we're going to do is Mysidia, and then that's the end of this dungeon, so we won't be fighting rank 7 monsters in the Mysidia section, unfortunately. Sure, we'll do that and that. See if what I said was true about Thunder being super effective against this guy. Oh yeah! I would say so! Granted, it's not going to be as good as a roided out Maria, but, you know, it's pretty good. There's a Gaia drum. I'll take it, I guess. Oh, hang on. High potions. I'll stand under the waterfall and meditate while I give Guy these high potions. That should be enough. I can just use a cure after this. So, treasure. I'll take it. I'll take it with me. Should be able to run from this, just because we can run from the regular Malboros. And again, that's kind of the nice thing about the rhythm of being able to run from enemies in Final Fantasy II, is once you know which type of enemy you can run from, all their palette swaps are usually exactly the same, unless they were a boss of some kind. Although usually if they were a boss, their palette swaps don't let you run either. So like if I tried to run from Yellow Souls, I don't think we'd be able to run away, because Red Souls were a boss, so... But it's kind of rhythmic, the way that you can run from stuff in this game, once you have enough agility to do it. If you don't have enough agility to do it, you'll never be able to run from anything, and you'll have to fight every encounter in the game, and this game has a really high encounter rate, so I can see how that would be problematic. Anyway, here's the most powerful bow in existence. It's the best bow in the game, bar none. Even Soul of Rebirth doesn't have a better bow than that. And you can get as many as you want from this point on, so yeah, keep that in mind if you want to have multiple rangers in your party. Alright, so next term is Mysidia. And then we'll use that mirror term that we grabbed in order to spawn the boss on the final floor. I think Mysidia is one where I can run through it as well, but hold on, there might be a map. Maybe not. It's funny, there was a map for Tundra. Yeah, no map for Mysidia, so we are SOL, but that's okay. Let me just do that. There we go. So it's not taxing my computer unjustly. I think I remember where to go in this one, though. I'm going to run because I don't fully remember. There's the exit, so that's a good sign. Let me go this way, go around, and we should be able to wrap around and come down right by the exit, so... yeah, just do one of those, and then just hit that guy, I guess. And heal while I'm at it. I just need to remember that I can try to find an enemy that I can osmose around here, and I should fight that encounter even if I can run away from it, so I can have Firion and Guy use osmose to practice. Well, Guy to get the MP, Firion to practice. So, more HP for Guy. Keep gaining HP like this, Guy. Maria's never going to catch up. I guess I'll take that. And then I guess we're going down the stairs, aren't we? Your cousins had MP, so I'm going to try grabbing some MP from you as well. I don't know why you guys would have MP, but I'll try to grab some. Wow, that's a lot of MP. Way more than I thought I was going to get out of you. Firion's almost at full. To be fair, I don't think these guys can hit me. I don't think they have 6 hits in them. They might be able to hit Leon, but I kind of doubt it. Whoops. Alright, you just go for a fire now that you've got all your MP back, and then there we go. But yeah, even with, you know, maxed out damage that Maria has at the moment, and I mean, she doesn't have 99 strength or anything like that, but even with all the strength that she has, all the attack power that she has, she can't quite break their defenses yet, but that's okay. We don't need to. There's a Mithril Mirror in there. That's the one that casts Wall, right? Let me see. Yeah. And it casts Wall 16, so that's... If you ever want to use Wall, I would recommend using the Mithril Mirror instead of investing in Wall, because it casts such a high level of Wall spell, it seems kind of silly not to use it, you know? Or to try to level the spell when it's like, okay, I could just use this for Wall instead. So, I think... up here? I think it's in here, if I remember right. The objective of the area. Yeah, I'm just gonna spam fire. Life doesn't need to. Life doesn't get a new animation when it gets to level 10. Fire does, so if I'm gonna have anything, try to get anything to level 10, it should probably be fire. I don't know how close it is. I don't think it's that close just yet, but I mean, I can look. I'll just look after this. Oh, Leon got more HP. He's just gonna keep on going. Yeah, I don't think fire is getting to level 10, not at that experience rate. We're gonna need quite a lot of experience for that. And there are some rank 7 enemies in the final dungeon that are weak to fire. Actually, there's only one, but... so we would have a use for it, but we'd have to fight several of those enemies, and I don't know how many we're actually gonna find. And sometimes in those cases, flare would just be better. So, we'll see, but I don't think so. Teleport will get to 9, though. We should have an excuse to use that. Your Berserk will get to 8. I need to have you use Berserk once and you use Protect once when we just have a random encounter, so that way you can get them to the next level. I probably need to do that in a rank 7 monster area, though, in order for you to get that experience, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, Fire Giant. Hi. Oh. Okay, man. I'll leave. Oop, I picked the wrong one. If you say yes, you don't have to fight him. That's my bad. If you say yes, he'll say, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, I don't actually know what happens if you beat this guy, so I guess we're gonna find out. I don't think I'll need too much to actually beat him. I'm just gonna use Blizzard and Flare and my regular attacks, because we should be able to break his defenses pretty easily. Hell, I don't even know if we're gonna need Blizzard. Okay, yeah, just use the 2 attacks. I'm not sure if you actually kill him or what. I guess I get a Flame Sword out of it. Yeah, you do. Okay. Well, if you don't beat him, I wonder if you can still... Okay. So, you can't accomplish the objective if you kill the guy. If you leave, if he says be gone and you say yes, which is what you were supposed to do, I thought it was no because I wasn't paying attention. He'll ask for items. So he'll ask you for a potion, an ether, and an elixir. If you give him all 3 items, he'll leave, and then you can get a cryptic tablet from this statue. If you take the cryptic tablet down to the researcher, who is down this way, you can get the key term of the floor, which is desert, I believe. And for what it's worth, there is, in fact, a map for the desert floor. So if you're actually paying enough attention... I'm going to blame the heat for that one. I mean, the air conditioner's on, but that doesn't mean that it's cold in here. If you're actually paying attention properly, you can get the desert key term. If you don't, well, I hope you weren't trying to get the desert, because you're not going to be able to get it now, and you'll have to just redo it. And I mean, that's fine. Like, I'm not really super concerned about it. But yeah, the researcher's down here. Give him the cryptic tablet. He'll give you the desert key term, and then you can go to the desert. I don't need to go to the desert, though, because this is the last floor, and I already have a key term to spawn the boss floor, so... Feels so funny to just be able to run from cockatrices. Most Final Fantasy games, everybody freaks out about them, but this one is just like, hey, you got enough agility? Bye! So... Alright, and we will not use Oblivion to spawn the boss floor, we'll use Mirror. Although, you know, by using the word mirror, I mean, we just got a mithril mirror, and we got the word mirror from the floor, the mithril floor, so that's kind of funny. A little bit serendipitous there, but I wonder if that means we're going to be fighting a mirror match here. Maybe I shouldn't have used mirror. Oh, god damn it, not again. Yeah, so at the end of the game, so here's how it works. So if you have all 15 of the key terms from the main game, that determines, however many key terms you have determines what bosses you'll fight at the end of each labyrinth. So, since we have all 15 of them, we always fight Tiamat at the Salamand Labyrinth, we'll always fight Beelzebub at the end of this labyrinth, and then the one that's closer to Kashuan, we'll always fight the boss that we're going to fight when we get there. I won't tell you what it is yet, because we will find out soon enough, but, yeah, so we'll... Basically, the bosses are fixed, and that's why I picked Mirror to be the key term we used here, because I knew I was going to be fighting Beelzebub, even though we just fought Beelzebub in the Jade Passage key term, so I figured it would be kind of a silly little thing. Of course, I'm explaining my joke, so that means it's not silly anymore. Please stop targeting Guy with that. I need to finish buffing. Oh my god, 700 damage. One more hit of that, and he's donezo. Makes me wish I had the Shell Tome, but I don't, so I guess we'll just hope for the best. We can't expect the worst. I could cast Shell right here, but then Blink wouldn't really go off, and Maria might get whacked for a big amount of damage, because I don't think this guy's considered undead, but I think he has Drain HP on his attacks, so we don't want that. Okay, Confuse 16 should be fine. Should be. Yeah, we can break right through that very easily. I'll just shell everybody now. You guys can attack. And then, do I try to see if he has... No, I don't think I try to Osmos him. If he is undead, then I would just get all my MP taken. Not that it matters, because we're out of here as soon as we beat him, but, you know. Why try to beat a dead horse? He's already dead. Like, look, Leon did that much, so can you imagine how much Maria's about to do? Well, there's the Fire 10 and above animation if we don't get to see it from leveling it. So. it looks like a bomb explodes. It's kind of cool. We got an item out of him. Alright, Hermes shoes. That's probably the worst one you can get out of him. He could drop another black robe if I remember correctly. But, yeah, nothing that I particularly care about at this point. So that's 2 seals down, only 1 to go, but the next labyrinth is the longest one at 10 floors plus the boss floor, so it's going to take a little doing. Let's go to Bofsk and rest up first before we head inside. They, like, I think I said this before, but they don't have anything new to say since you destroyed the Dreadnought, so... I mean, that's fine, but... would have been nice. Alright, let me just adjust my notes real quick. There we go. And that will put all of the stuff that I need to know right at the top. I probably should go grab some shell tomes from my city. We can't grab them from Palum or Poft anymore because they're destroyed, but... nah, I think we'll be fine. I'll just use the shell tomes as an item next episode. I'm planning on, now that I've had that little brainwave about them, I'm planning on using them as items in Soul of Rebirth, though, so we'll see that in action when we actually get to that part. But we gotta do the rest of this episode and the whole nother episode in order to get there, so... before we do that, let's get through the stuff in front of us, shall we? Alright, last section of the Arcane Labyrinth. The Southern Keep. So let's hit it up, 10 more floors, and then we're done. Now this one, we're going to go all the way back to the very beginning. We'll use Wild Rose for this one. It's a concept of life and nature, so any other life and nature concepts that come after it will have good treasure and low encounter rates. And there's quite a lot of those, although, well, maybe not quite a lot of these, but we're also going to have a chance to use Oblivion in a few minutes because I'm going to run out of key terms to use, so if I don't. Wait, is this Finn Castle? Oh boy. Yeah, it's kind of there's a nice little shock that kind of happens here where you go in here, like let's say you're trying the labyrinth out just for the hell of it, and then you go in here and it's like, oh, is this Finn Castle? Like, and then you see the Imperials fighting off the soldiers. And you're like, oh my god, this is Finn Castle as it's being attacked by the Imperials. We can make a difference here. No, not quite. They do get to make a Star Wars reference, though. Or was that a Star Trek reference? I don't know. But, I'll show you some resistance. There we go. So the objective of this floor is to help the soldiers defeat... or help, not the soldiers, help the Finn soldiers defeat the Imperial soldiers. So we're gonna fight them all off. There's 5 of them total. So we'll just let Maria go hog wild, or Leon, depending on who gets their turn first. And then we'll go from there. They all say the same thing once you defeat the soldier. They just say, I owe you my life. So, that's fine. That guy over there, the one that is not fighting a soldier, he is the objective giver. He'll tell you, can you help us repel the invasion, basically? And then you fight off all the soldiers, the Imperial soldiers. And once you fought all 5, then you can come back to him and he'll give you he'll give you the key term for this floor. There's a reason why I'm not going to talk to him, though, or come back. Well, I'll talk to him now, but I'm not going to come back to talk to him after. The potions that I had, by the way, were supposed to be used for that Fire Gigas, but, yeah, no. Evidently that's not happening, so... just run through here, because the encounter rate here is normal since this is the first floor, but all the enemies we should be able to run from fairly easily, so... actually, I don't think, yeah, I was going to say this is the correct way. I think we got to go out and down and around. And that might give you a hint as to why it's kind of a pain in the nuts to come back to that guy, because, well, if we look at the map of this area is rather large and meandering, so because of that, it's kind of a pain to come back to that guy after you... oh, good. A knife. Thanks. I'll take it. But basically, in order to get to the other 2, you have to go this way, go all the way up and around the other 2, and then in order to get the guy, to talk to the guy about the word, you'd have to come all the way back down here, and I don't personally care. We have enough key terms at this point with the other floors we're going to go to actually just finish this area up, so finish up this labyrinth. And I won't need any more after this one. I just need one more and then the whole Oblivion section, and then that's it. We won't need any more terms to finish it up. You'll know that you're done, by the way, if the music changes over to the Rebel theme, so just keep that in mind, because it'll happen soon enough. By soon enough, I mean in about the next 5 seconds after this guy keels over dead. Like that. Yeah, so now it's all set. Again, all they say is I owe you my life. If you go back, like I said, to the soldier that wasn't fighting anybody originally, that told us, can you help us? And can you find a way to save us or something like that? You can talk to him again, and he'll give you the key term. The reason why you don't want to do that is because, well, we're getting lucky with the encounter rate right now, but the encounter rate is still up. Even though it says all enemy troops repelled, you can still run into leg eaters and hornets and goblins and all that other stuff in here, so... even though you repelled the invasion, quote-unquote, you can still run into those random monsters. I feel like they should have just turned off the encounters at that point, because it's like, okay, but that means there's monsters from hell still in the castle, but whatever. Doesn't matter. You'd get the tracking key term if you went back to talk to the guy. We don't need it, though, so I'm not going to go back. Either way, the next one we're going to go do is Dragoons. It's another concept. They are people, but the order of the Dragoons is a concept that they all believe in. So we're going to do that one. That will associate it with Wild Rose. That means we get good treasure, and we get a low encounter rate. Now, Dragoons is kind of a tricky floor. There is an objective here. You don't get anything... Well, you get a hint for another floor if you... the next floor that we're going to be doing, actually, you get a hint for if you do the objective correctly. But we haven't heard the hint for the Dragoons floor just yet. So I'll just tell you how to do it. I don't know if I can run from these guys. Okay, I can. Good. First things first, you're going to want to go right. If you go across the bridge that was up and to my left there, that'll just bring you to the exit. And we don't want to do that at the moment. You can probably use the Wyvern against these guys. And yeah, there's no Revenants, so this should be enough to get rid of them all. Yep. No need for any of the extra hoopla. Just throw the Wyvern at them. So we'll go this way, down here. Nothing particularly good in the chest, but you know. Alright, so there are 3 souls on this floor. They have names that start with M, O, and V, respectively. In order to accomplish the objective on this floor, you need to defeat them in alphabetical order. So M first, then O, then V. So this is Maya, she's M, so she's the first one that you need to defeat. How you would know this? Well, you needed to have gone to a different floor that tells you a hint for this floor in order to know this, or you could just do it by trial and error. There's only 3 of them, so that means there's, what, like 6 possible combinations you could do this in? So you could run it 6 times and figure it out, I guess, but again, you don't get anything for doing it this way. I'm just showing you what happens if you do complete the objective. You get a hint for the next floor we're going to do, so... No, I can handle her. It's just a Lamia, like, come on. It's not that tough. We got this covered. I could turn this snake lady into a toad if I really wanted to. I'll take the MP first, though. There, now you don't have to be dead. You can be a toad in life. Or an undead toad, I don't really know. One or the other. Goodbye. So yeah, like I said, go in alphabetical order. M first, then O, then V. And that should do you good. Also, now that Guy's intelligence is starting to get up as high as it is, I think it should be a little easier for him to get Toad to actually hit. So, alright, this is Orga, so she's O. Yeah, alright, keep telling yourself that, lady. Well, she's a Black Knight, so she might be a little tougher, but we should be able to handle the Black Knight without too many problems. Try to Toad her as well. Very nice. I don't know why I'm choosing to Toad them, I just figure I might as well. I think Black Knights can also drop... I was saying for Royal Guards they can drop Yoichi's bow, but I'm pretty sure it's actually Black Knights that can drop it. So, there you go. I don't know if I can run from this one. Yeah, those stalactites in the back row there are actually preventing me from running from this one, so... That's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. You know what? Yeah, why don't you do that? You attack that one. You do an Osmos on the mage, and then you do that one. We won't kill the mage, but we will take all of their MP, and if an enemy is a caster, and they have MP left, I believe they almost always cast a spell. So we should basically just waste its turn, and then next turn we can take care of it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like 50-50. But this one chose to cast a spell, and it will be its downfall, so goodbye. Alright, we'll just wait for Maria to get an HP increase, and then we will heal again. This is Vicious, so that was M, then O, then V. Or is it Vicious? Looking for someone named Laird, apparently. See, now you're starting to sound like an SMT soul. And I eat those guys for breakfast, so I don't know if you know what you're messing with here. Bye. I have made 3 undead toads today. Which is not the most unusual thing, but it's weird that it happened thrice. Alright, now we just need to find this layered person. That land turtle is going to prevent me from running away, so we'll just deal with that, I guess. You know what? Actually, don't hit the land turtle, hit the mage. And then you can hit the land turtle with Blizzard, because I won't have many more chances to actually use Blizzard now. There's very few enemies going forward. I think there's only one that's weak to Blizzard, and you might not even encounter it. It's in Jade Passage. It's a salamander, if I remember correctly. But might not even encounter it, so we will see. But unlikely. Free Blink Tome, though, I guess. Alright, actually, I think the layered guy, because this is the chest, I think the layered guy is further down. Let me go back and see. Should be able to run from you, though, yeah. No land turtle in your formation, so. You go down here, and then I think there's another bridge further down this way. Maybe it's the ogre mage that was preventing me from running. Or maybe this encounter is, because certain times, certain encounters will just have 0 of a certain enemy, so like maybe this encounter, quote-unquote, has a land turtle in it, it's just that there were no land turtles that spawned, and that's why it's causing the problem of running. It's kind of weird the way that they do monster formations in this game sometimes, but that might be part of it. I don't know if that even makes sense, but like basically a land turtle could have spawned with this one ogre mage and 2 ogres, but it didn't. However, because the chance existed at all, it was causing my lack of ability to run away there. Yeah, there's Laird. Okay. Have a chat with Laird. Well, yeah, they all seem pretty persistent at well, pursuing you. Oh, yeah, so that's, you get a hint somewhere else that basically says kill them in alphabetical order, and if you do that, then they're gone permanently. So this Laird guy can get some sleep now, finally. Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, they have this whole bond with wyverns. Right. There's your hint, though, because the wyvern's floor is the next one we're going to do, and those terms are complementary, just like Dreadnought and Palamecia, so you'll have no encounters on the floor. But because they're complementary, there's an objective... Well, actually, that has nothing to do with it. There's an objective on the floor, on the wyvern's floor to do. But if you don't know how to wake up the wyvern on the wyvern's floor, it might be kind of difficult to accomplish the objective. But he gives you an idea there on how to do it. Wake the wyvern with a bell. And we have a bell, the goddess's bell. So we'll just ring the bell, and then the wyvern should wake up. And then we can do the rest. The rest is pretty self-explanatory. So can I run from stalactites? Yeah, okay, so it wasn't the stalactites that was causing the problem. It was the fact that a land turtle could have spawned in that other group. In this group, a land turtle can't spawn, and so stalactites I can just run away from. Okay. I'm learning new things about this game in terms of the way that things work just by, you know, letting things happen and then figuring it all out. But anyway, use wyverns right after dragoons. It'll be complementary, just like Dreadnought and Palamecia. So you can freely run through the wyverns level very easily and no encounters. This is really nice because you get dragoons and wyverns just before, I think it's just before Layla joins the party the first time. Dragoons, it's very easy to get to the exit. You just go to the left from where you start, and then you can say wyverns, and you can get a free pair of Thief's Gloves. Just like that. Like, no payment required. You don't have to go to Mysidia, nothing. You just dragoons, wyverns, Thief's Gloves, instantly. You can do that as many times as you want, because as soon as you get to the exit here, you can just exit the labyrinth by saying no, come back, do Dragoons and then Wyverns again, get more Thief's Gloves over and over and over again until you have enough Thief's Gloves for every member of your party. It's probably faster, honestly, than trying to get to Mysidia early on in the game. I don't remember exactly where I'm going here, so I'm just going to kind of hope for the best, honestly. There's another chest there. I think there's a chest up here, but I'm not going here. It doesn't really matter because there's no encounters on the floor, so I can just sprint right through. There's one. There's 4 chests in here, so we've seen all of them now. Just need to figure out how to get to the other one. But it's a pretty good money save as well, because if you get all the chests on your way through, you can get the Thief's Gloves, but also an Ether and 2 cottages, so that saves you quite a bit of money. And cottages are pretty good for the section where you're doing the Dist Cavern anyway, so because you'll want to do that multiple trips, or you might want to just use the cottage when you're up on Dist while you're training, or when you come out of the cave, so you don't have to keep going all the way back to Bofsk. It's not that long of a walk, but it's a walk nonetheless, so you can save yourself some time. Alright, so if you know the hint, or if you just figured this out from a walkthrough or whatever, ring the goddess's bell, and the wyvern will wake up. What's up, buddy? Well, I know how to communicate with him. We'll do it the same way we've done it through the entirety of the game. Use the pendant. Yes, sir. Well, thank you. I think Ricard would be happy to hear that. Sure, what's up? Oh, that's no good. Sure, why not? I can do that. Now, you can give him any healing item here and it'll work, but I have plenty of extra elixirs, and I was going to give one to the fire giant anyway, so I might as well just give him one of my elixirs. Here's 50,000 gills worth of healing items. Hopefully this will recover you enough. That's all good. But yeah, the darkness term is the term that I'd like to grab from him, because it's nice and easy to get. You just do the little objective with the wyvern, and there you go. I appreciate the sentiment, though, buddy. I will let you know how it works out, because darkness is currently threatening to engulf the world right now as we speak. So, I'm going to have to do something about that, but I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, so that's that floor. One more concept floor, and this one will have a little bit tougher enemies on it. The Cyclone is our next floor. However, the extra enemies that are on it will be well worth it, because there are 2 treasure chests here that are very, very good that I would like to grab. It's an electric floor area. However, most of the electric floors can be avoided because this is the one section of the Arcane Labyrinth. I know I said before there were no invisible walls, but this one does have invisible walls. It's one of the only ones that does, as far as I'm aware, so there's plenty of treasure here, and most of the invisible walls in the secret passages allow you to get around the electric flooring. That being said, I don't remember where all of them are, so let me get a map up. Cyclone! Yeah. Oop. Hit the pop filter, my bad. Alright, so that's the first one. Nice and easy. Next one. Well, I guess you'll have to feel along the walls, because otherwise you'll never get out of this room, huh? So there you go. Here's the next one. Take you over here. Then you can go down here. And just skip that whole section. And there's one right here, even. See, as you can see, there's just a little bit of... I mean, you have to walk on the flooring to get that chest there. I don't think there's any way around that one, but... well, you know, it's fine. Not a big deal. Alright, let's roast this wood golem. Over an open flame, turn him into charcoal if the other guys don't kill him first. Okay, never mind. More agility for Leon, I'll take it, because he's going to need it where he's going. It's a swap tome there. The treasure that's in this one, by the way, is the good treasure for this floor, so that's why we're going to get some fairly primo stuff, honestly. Actually, I think I need to... oh no, it's down here. I was thinking it was further up. 'Tis not. I don't think I can run from... I mean, I guess I could check. I don't think I can run from this guy. Yeah, no. I forget if he was a monster in a box encounter, although he was a boss with the part of the boss encounter with the Emperor, so... honestly, that's enough to explain to me why, yeah, no, you can't run from that guy, so... you know. Alright, one right here. And I think this one keeps going, although I think you can exit it over there as well. I could be wrong, though. Cure Tome, nothing particularly good there. However, here's where the good stuff starts. You can get a second Defender from this section if you have the good treasure on, and I've decided that I'm going to give Leon the second Defender blade instead of the Ripper. It's just flat out stronger for him, even with the extra hits from the thing. The Ripper's base damage is not particularly good, but the Defender itself is a little stronger for him, and on top of that, excuse me, I did a little bit of checking. The Excalibur, despite being listed on the wiki as having the same evasion rate as the Defender, it does not. It just has the regular sword evasion, which is 1% evasion for every level. The reason why Leon's evasion was so high is because we gave him a bunch of light armor, and he already had pretty good agility, especially when we added 30 to it from putting these pieces of gear on. But now that he has the Defender, he should be very easily situated at 99% evasion, which he is, which means I can give him something else and take away some of his agility because he doesn't need it as much anymore in order to get to that 99%. So, since that's the case, we will look for another piece of equipment for him in just a few minutes here. Honestly, I feel like we can all just kind of... I forget if these guys are weak to fire, but since we got a preemptive strike, I guess I can check. Their cousins are weak to fire, but we don't have to deal with their cousins right now, so those guys are not. Because that was fairly mediocre damage. I think Flare might have killed, but I know Holy will. Yeah, pretty easy. But yeah, so that just gets us, even, like I said, even with the Ripper having the extra hit damage, we just get more flat-out damage from the Defender. And it gives Leon all the evasion he could ever need out of anything, so. 3 more Unicorn Horns. How many of those do I have burning a hole in my pocket now? I think I'm at double digits. 9, so just about. Man. This hallway's a little wonky because you got to kind of meander back and forth in order to get through here. But it's a lot better than walking on all of that extra flooring down there. Although there is a path through there where you can just walk, you know, up and down and up and down and up and down to get around the path. But, this is fine. Oh look, another excuse to use Blizzard. I'll take it. Just need to find something I can osmose some MP from pretty soon, and then guys should be in good shape. Probably have Therian practice it at some point as well. And then we should be okay. I mean, I think I know an enemy that I can osmose from coming up in a little bit. It wouldn't be till the next floor, I don't think. Okay, Leon, you can slow down on the HP gains now. You're gonna be getting too many there, brother. It's gonna make it a little difficult for me to do any more. Okay, so you can actually keep going from here, I think. Yeah, just kind of feel along the wall. Can get out right there, but before we do that, let's grab this chest as well, because this one contains a 3rd black robe for us. Very nice. Now that Leon has the Defender, we can give him that to give him a little extra intelligence. It doesn't give him as much defense, but it does give him more magic defense. So now, yeah, his magic defense is up at 91%. Pretty nice. And, yeah, he's still got that 99% evasion, 99% accuracy with both swords on. So if you're going to use Leon, I would say this is a pretty solid setup. Just make sure you keep the Defender for him from the Cyclone, and he should be very good after that point. So, if you don't want to use a shield with him, I mean, I usually just use the shield in previous playthroughs, but then I realized, no, that's kind of silly. Why would I do that when I could just give him the Defender sword? All right, now this one's a little tricky, because this one you can walk all the way to the left, but you'll hit a wall before you hit the next section. So in order to avoid that, you have to feel along the walls here to look for a space that goes up. It's kind of a dick move, but I'll take it, you know. And the space that you go up is right before the first pillar. So I'll show you when we get out of the battle, but there's a pillar that you can use as a marker to kind of tell you where to go. It's the only time you have to do that, though, so, like, you don't have to keep feeling along the wall, like, over and over again as you go up and down so you don't hit a passage, basically. So, like, right here. So you see how the center of the screen is slightly to the right of where that pillar is. That pillar is the thing with the little arcane markings on it to the right of that torch down there. So, and we're in the center of the screen. So here you can go up, and then you can go all the way down from there. If you just continued down that hallway, you'd hit a wall right before you got here. So, and then from there you can just kind of go like this. I think this one, yeah, leads out here, so we can grab this. A life tome. Not the last chest in here, but it's one of the last ones. There's the exit right there, but before we do that, I want to go down here so we can go all the way around to the person that we can talk to here that actually tells us what the hell we're supposed to be doing with all of this time that we're using up in the Cyclone. And then we can leave. And once we leave, we can work on the Oblivion storyline will be the next thing we go do. We also have, there's 2 more key terms that we can use, Sunfire and Goddess's Bell. But I want to do the Oblivion storyline first, just because I don't like saving that for later, because what if I accidentally use too many terms, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I did all but one of them. In order to see the rest of the story play out and get what I need out of it, we would need to go redo the whole entire damn labyrinth, and that wouldn't work out. Basically, I'd be resetting, and I can't really afford to do that, because I would like to get the whole labyrinth done today if possible. So we'd be at this for longer, that's the point. And I mean, I guess that wouldn't be a bad thing in some people's eyes, but it would have meant I would have wasted all of your time, and ain't all about that wasting all of your time thing. I mean, I guess, you know, you could consider this whole act a waste of your time, but if that's the case, why are you still watching? Why would you do that to yourself? Just leave. You don't have to sit here and spite yourself. That's not okay. Probably not good for your mental health either. Anyway, here's another Thunder Spear. Ricard could really use that, but I don't think he can get it from where he's at. Well, no, he can, but he can't get this one, so that's unfortunate. Well, okay, well, I don't know if you'll ever find a way out. It doesn't seem like there is a way out, but, you know. Yeah, not really. Well, I'm glad I could help you out. Ah, hope it wasn't the Forest of Fallen Giants. We'll visit that place, but not for now. That's a different project. He spent his whole life searching for paradise, but if you go through the Giants section and you actually accomplish the objective there, you can get a key term called Utopia, which gets you to the paradise that he was looking for. So you essentially complete his quest for him, which I think is kind of interesting, I guess. Ooh, went too far. There's a way to feel through here, if I remember correctly. Isn't there? Is it this way? Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Alright. We found it, so here's the exit, and now we could do Goddess's Bell and Sunfire, but we'll save those for just quick trips running through after this. I want to see what's on the other side of Oblivion first. So let's go do that. Oh, this looks different. New assets, too. The people look similar, but they have slightly different sprites and stuff. The crossfire of what, exactly? Oh, okay. Well, that's not so good. I wonder what that's all about. Is there another war going on? So maybe that's what that crossfire is all about. Oh boy. I don't think there's any encounters in Oblivion, so that kind of helps you out a little bit. I think there's 2 floors that don't have encounters in this section. And as a matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let me get the map up while this woman is fretting about her child, I'm sure. This one. And this one. And this one. I only need a map for one of them. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just going to make sure I have the correct map up right now, because otherwise it will be problematic. A young boy? Platinum blonde hair and a blue headband. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can find him, because it'll be a little easier for you to escape if you're together. Let's see if we can go find him. There's a bunch of kids around town, and the exit's right over there, but the kid we're looking for is up here in the top right corner, just kind of hanging out. You alright there, kid? Friends of your mom, I would assume. Well, actually, she was looking for you. Well, yeah, I mean, you give up hope, it's all over. Don't give up hope, kid. You gotta hold hope in your heart. So this is Deumian, huh? He's got a name, which probably means he's gonna be important for something. You're welcome. Ah, it was nothing, just what any old neighbor would do. Oh, hey, kid, what's up? I will. You keep hope in your heart, too. So yeah, he'll give you the hope key term. And then he'll leave with his mother to go somewhere that isn't burning, I would hope. I think if I remember correctly, if you try to go into any of these houses, I think they're all locked. Yeah, the NPCs in this town actually lock their doors, which is a novel thing, but I suppose they are being destroyed by cannon fire, so that would help them to do that. Celsi here has a name, but I think all the kids in town have names. It's just you're not looking for them specifically. You're looking for the kid with platinum blonde hair and a blue headband, whereas the kids here all have different colored headbands or different colored hair. But Celsi here will tell you the hope key term, excuse me, if you missed it when you first talked to Dayumi in there, because that will let you spawn the next floor. So if you missed it, then there you go. You can just grab it from Celsi and then use it for the next section. So that was chapter 1, quote-unquote, of the original storyline that is part of the Arcane Labyrinth. There's a total of 4. Hope is the next one. And Hope has monsters in it. Okay, hello, Red Dragon. Did we fight you, or did we fight the Blue Dragon before? I think we fought the Blue Dragon previously, so this is a new one, if I remember correctly. We'll be fighting this one a little bit later on in the Jade Passage, but unless I'm just mistaking it for the Blue Dragon, in which case there's a Blue Dragon as well. But no, I'm pretty sure we fought the Blue Dragon last time, and I got the Dragon Shield out of it. And the Red Dragon is the one that's further down in the Jade Passage. But you can get another Dragon Shield from this one as well, so I suppose you could always just, you know, look around on this floor to try to find a whole bunch of dragons and try to get Dragon Shields from them, so. Most of the monsters on this floor are kind of nasty, though, unless you've got your endgame set up pretty well handled. You might have a bit of trouble. So. But we should be able to handle them. This is probably one of the last major hurdles. I think there's one more after this that'll be a major hurdle, like one more floor. And then beyond that, it'll be like, okay, whatever, we got this. Practice Osmos, although honestly they might just kill it before you can practice it, and then Blizzard and that. Oh, I actually should have had Guy do Osmos. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't looking at his MP, but it's not like I don't have any elixirs or something, so I think I should be able to handle that. I could just give him an elixir right now. Some intelligence from both of you. That's good. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go straight right. This is the first fork, though, so at the first fork, I want to talk to this guy. Because he'll spawn beast demons to fight you. I wonder if I can Osmos these guys, or if they're considered undead. I guess I can find out. I don't think you two combined, you might be able to beat a beast demon, but I'm going to teleport one of them out just because. They're palette swaps of Gotos, basically, and that should, yeah, kill them, so. That's fine. We'll find more of them. So I guess we probably don't need to teleport them out if they're that weak, but they're a little weaker than Gotos in that case. But yeah, you'll find quite a few of them around this area, so. I can toss an ether guy's way because, or maybe I can just teleport out one of the guys and then you can kill that one. Maybe you can get an Osmos off before one of them, but you can kill the Devil's Bloom. Yeah, as long as the Devil Bloom's gone. It doesn't have any MP, so Osmos in that case wouldn't work, but then I should be able to, yeah, Osmos from these guys. Okay, that worked out very nicely. And now we should be good on MP for a little while. I think those beast demons have about 1,000 HP, so nothing too substantial. The reason why we wanted to beat that one at the first fork is because that's where the exit is. However, the objective to get you the next term is, well, follow the soldiers mostly, but not always, because as you saw at the fork over there are more soldiers that are off the beaten path that we don't need to defeat. To get to the objective, you want to go all the way to the right, then all the way up, then all the way to the left. And that's it. That's why I haven't opened a map for this one, because I don't need it. The fourth chapter of 4 in this particular storyline, though, if you manage that one and accomplish the objective without a map, I don't even know what to say. Good job, I guess. I couldn't do it. That's the one I was talking about at the beginning of the episode that tracks the number of steps you take. At least, that's the impression that I get from playing it. I've only ever fully completed the Arcane Labyrinth and done this section of the story once before this, so I can't really talk as if I'm an expert. But when I did it previously, I had to do it a second time. I saved beforehand, thankfully, but I had to do it a second time because I did it. I took too many steps or something, and I did not accomplish the objective as a result of it. Or maybe I just walked in the wrong direction. We'll get to it in a couple of floors. For now, let's focus on getting through this section. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of hope going on here, though. There's just a whole bunch of soldiers that are trying to myrtleize me. And coerls. I think we can run from these guys, though. Yeah. Imagine fighting the enemies with Blaster or Malboros with Bad Breath or anything like that. Imagine having to fight them when you can just do that. I guess we can run from Beast Demons as well. Agility is kind of silly in this game. I mean, it's like a beta of a Saga game, so that's kind of to be expected, but, you know. I think that guy might be alive, yep. Not that guy, though. What, is that all you can do? 38. That's fine, I guess. Get some flare experience for Guy. Try to get his flare to level 9 if possible before we go further, so that way he's on par with Virion in terms of his damage, but, you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Alright, I think that's as far as we need to go. There are treasure chests on this floor, a couple of them, but they've just got Gil in them, and we don't really need that anymore, so I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, you know what? Might as well just do some teleporting. Why not? First come, first serve on the Devil's Blooms. Oh. Well, Guy, you might be able to kill that one anyway. Depends on if Leon goes next. Okay, well, Leon will clean up for Maria. That's the funny thing, though, is that now that Leon has, you know, his level 9 in swords and he has the Excalibur and the Defender, Maria's damage isn't going to fall off. It's just all of a sudden Leon is going to be on par with her, if not exceeding her in damage output. And, like, typically speaking, when you watch people play this game on YouTube, that's not the case. Usually, Leon is the weakest character in the whole party because everybody else has millions and millions of extra HP, way more than you need, and they've got really, really high-level spells, so... Not on this playthrough, though. Apparently, I found a way to make Leon actually just as good as everybody else. So... he actually holds his place in the party now. I don't think you have to fight that one. I think it's this one. And then you go further after this, and then there you go. Just spam Flare to get it to 9, and then we'll be good. If you were playing the old versions of the game, you'd probably get your spells to about level 7, and that would be good enough, honestly. So getting them to 9 in this one is kind of like... it's probably where you'll stall a little bit, I think, because from level 9 to level 10 takes a lot more experience than previously, so... 1412 versus 1509. That's because you got hit by like 2 flares there, Guy. That's why you're so much ahead in terms of that. But that's fine. Leon might gain a little bit of weapon experience as well. The way it works when you have 2 of the same weapon equipped is you'll get double the weapon experience if you hit the threshold for... is this going to work? Yeah, it is. Okay. If you hit the threshold for actually gaining weapon experience, if you have 2 of the same weapon equipped, you'll get double the experience. So... this guy's saying something else, so that means he's probably going to say something else. Or be something else, rather. And it turns out, yes, he is. He's 3 generals. Fun. I love that. I'll quickly teleport one out. Try to toad another one, and just let you 2 focus on this. We might get through with Toad. Yeah, there we go. They don't have that much magic defense. They do have some, but not that much. Alright, nice. That might even get you an HP increase, and that won't be enough to kill that guy, but that's fine. We'll just go all out, and then he should be going. There. See? Nice and easy. And you got stamina out of it. Dragon armor and diamond gloves, wow. Well, that'll sell for a pretty penny when we get out of here. If we get out of here. That's a lot of generals. I think we're ready, but or we could run away. Or we could not run away because they've decided to pincer attack me. Uh-oh. Not so fast, ye scurvy slugs. Or it was scurvy snake, actually. Oh, okay. Thanks for the assist. I mean, I could have handled them, but oh, okay. Nice. Nice work. Yeah, so this is Deumian. He's grown up since the last chapter. Yeah, no, I'm good. None the worse for wear, so... Hmm. So you've done that since you were a kid, huh? Wow. I wonder what we can learn of destruction. This seems to be, I don't know if this is a world parallel to our own or if it happened in the past, but maybe we can learn more about it, because that destruction might be the Ultima Tome that he's referring to. We'll go find out. Anyway, he didn't actually kill any of these guards. He knocked them unconscious instead. He did kill the one that was pincer attacking us, though, because their body's nowhere to be found. So, I guess sometimes you just... Oh, you know what? It's the Devil's Blooms. Yeah, they won't let me leave. Sometimes, I guess, it's just not very easy, because they just... You just keel over and die. It's like, oh, okay, well, he sustained too many injuries. I mean, 6 out of 7 non-deaths ain't bad, but, you know. No, that one Devil's Bloom is going to be alive still. I don't think the Beast Demon's going to do a whole lot, but, well, neither did the Devil's Bloom, to be fair, so that's fine. Yeah, finish what you started there, Maria, and then just go on blast. Get rid of the rest of them. Guys at full MP now, so that's good. I mean, we're slinging a whole lot of high-level spells, but we have the Osmos to actually fix that. So, like, now that we have Osmos and it's at a decent level, I don't really fear anymore in terms of our MP, you know? Excuse me. It's just kind of one of those things. You just learn how to micromanage it, and it's fine. So. Got Red Dragon again. Is it even worth me? Because I can probably just get away with doing, like... Actually, how about this? Let's do... I think it was your Berserk that needed to get raised. We'll just cast Blizzard on him, and your Protect needs to get raised. So we'll just do those. We'll see where we end up in terms of damage, and Maria can probably just finish the job next turn, because we're probably going to have done about 3,000 to him. I think Red Dragon has between, like, 3,500 or 4,000 HP. I can't quite remember. He did, in fact, survive both of those, so it must be closer to 4,000, because that was, like, 3,500 damage that we just inflicted, so... I'll do another Blizzard just for the hell of it, and then do that. Probably won't need it, though. Oh, well, if you're going to get your turn first, then I guess we will need it. But that'll do. Oh, my lord, man, you can't be serious with these drop rates. What am I supposed to do with that now? Everybody already has that resistance. Look, I got black robes and everything. Like, I guess I'm giving it to Maria. She's not gonna need anything else. I mean, the flame shield, it's redundant. Once you have resistance to an element, you can't just get more resistance by equipping more equipment that resists it. So, like, she already has full elemental resistance from the black robe, so fire, ice, lightning, poison. So equipping a shield that gives her more won't actually do her any good. I guess it'll give her more evasion. Not that she needs that anymore, but okay, there we go. What the hell, man? You guys need to stop. Oh, what? You can run from 2 of them, but not 3 of them? Fine. Do that way. Do that and that. I do just love, though, because I was a victim of this as well. When I used to always have Leon be kind of the weakest link when I would have him in the party as well, because our HP is pretty lopsided this time. Leon actually has the most HP out of anybody, and usually Guy's pretty far ahead of him. Usually Guy is closer to 2,000 HP at this point. And Leon catches up eventually, because Guy has lower stamina, but it takes a while. But this time, because Maria was our frontline fighter and I mostly had Furion and Guy in the back row for the whole game, our HP is very lopsided and Leon has the most. Where was I going with this point? I just totally lost my train of thought. It was funny for some reason, but I don't remember what my train of thought was on it. I don't know. It'll come back to me, I'm sure. But, man, having a senile moment here. Yeah, I guess it's just funny because I usually, like I said, Leon ends up being the weakest link in a lot of people's cases, so it's interesting to see him not only have the most HP, but also I can just... Oh, that's what it was. It's funny to see that I can just set him up to kill one enemy and just forget about it. Like, I don't even have to worry about whether or not he can kill it. It's just like, nope, he'll kill it. He's got Excalibur and a Defender with level 9 swords and good strength and everything else. He'll kill it. He's got almost 200 attack power, so I would hope so. Alright, so the next one we're going to use is the Destruction Tome, or the Destruction Term, rather, not the Destruction Tome. I think we already have that one, but, you know. Now, the Oblivion Key Term and the Destruction Key Term both give you floors with no random encounters on them, so you can run all over the place and go hog wild with it and still be fine. They have a castle that's a meandering labyrinth, but, you know, apparently there's a council in session of some kind. Wonder if they're trying to maintain peace in that war that was going on back in Oblivion, and the one that was going on in Hope, but... So everybody else, I guess we can check what everybody else says, why not? We've got some time. Not much to say there, Roberto! Well, sure, but that also leads to problems because then people covet the magic and then, well, that's problematic, isn't it? I can imagine. And how do you plan on doing that? Are you going to call for peace, or... They don't seem to understand exactly how to get to peace, though. Well, let's wander the rest of the halls before we go to the exit and see if we can figure it out, shall we? We might be able to help them with negotiations a little bit if we find something in here. I don't know what exactly we'd be looking for, but I do kind of vaguely know where to go. So, we want to go talk to that green mage that was over here, that we saw at the entrance. So, Magicite from the laboratories? Okay. All colors! Okay, so there's 3 colors of Magicite, and one of them, yeah, is actually just in his room, so he couldn't be asked to walk 3 steps to grab it, but whatever. You have to find green Magicite, blue Magicite, and red Magicite. The green one is right next to him there, and then the other 2 are in the northeast corner, but I think you have to go all the way to the northwest corner and then go east from there in order to get to the other 2 types of Magicite. I think the exit's also up here, so hang on. Let me scratch my head. There we go. Yeah, there's the exit. And if we go this way, we can get to the other 2 labs, if I remember correctly. Only one. Never mind. Well, that guy's chatting about something I don't understand, but here's some red Magicite. And then we're looking for blue, which is going to be in the hallway directly below me, which means we got to go all the way back down and around. But that's fine. A lot of wandering in this one, but I don't mind it when there's no encounters, you know, it's like whatever. If there's no encounters, I'll just wander all over the place as much as you want me to, but if I had to do all this with encounters, it would be a lot more of a pain in the ass to do this floor. There's the blue Magicite. You don't mind if I take this, do you? Okay, thanks. One of the other scientists needs this for something. I don't know what the hell he's planning, but he needs it for something. Got your Magicite. And what? Oh, okay. You made the ultimate magic in a lab with a bunch of random Magicite. Somehow I feel like that's not how Ultima was just made. The Mysidians made it sound like it was a lot more mysterious and ancient of a process, but this seems off. Well, let's go report to the general anyway. Sir? Yes, one of your magi has created the ultimate magic, apparently. I have only seen it with my own eyes, but I haven't seen it in practice, so I couldn't tell you. What do you mean? Can't you just, I don't know, not use the magic? Can't you just cause peace? And I guess they were having trouble, that's why they were meeting about this. You're gonna seal it away? Maybe it is Ultima then. What kind of a guardian? Do you need 3 guardians? All Gigases? They make it sound like there's only 1 guardian, though, which makes me think this is probably not Ultima that they're talking about. I wonder what magic they're talking about. I wonder what boy they're talking about. I feel like we've seen this boy before. Yeah, so, and here's the problem. If you seal away this ultimate magic, this is not the Ultima Tome that they're sealing, it's something else. But if you seal it away, basically time stops for the Guardian, or at the very least they become immortal. So they will never be able to leave the protection zone, because then, you know, the seal would be broken. for the rest of time. They will be stuck there for all of time at the seal. Oh, well, that's a problem. So yeah, I guess they don't have any decision to make. And the boy is Deumian. So the kid that we saw that grew up in the last chapter, this one probably takes place a little bit before the last chapter. Or maybe it takes place right at the same time. I'm not really sure exactly the order of events here, but apparently they got to go find Deumian. He's the one that they're going to use for the seal. And he's going to be sealed for all of time. Now, in order to finish this one out and get the fourth and final chapter, you have to talk to the general again. Because he'll give you the final term, Guardian, which will let you unlock the last chapter of this story. They all say mostly similar things after this, if I remember correctly, about their regret at what has to happen here. So, I don't think the guy that made the Ultimate Magic has any regrets, though. He's just like, my experiment works! Not really considering the ramifications or repercussions. Okay, here's the final one. This is the one where if you don't have a map, you're going to have a hard time. So let's do it, because I do have a map, and that should make things just a little bit easier. So we're back in Deumian's town. So those soldiers will leave. Talk to this kid, and he'll give you the objective of the area. Yeah, so in order to talk to Deumian, which you want to do before the soldiers get to him, in order to get the next section, you need to, in order to finish this story, you need to get an item from Deumian at the end of this section. And in order to do that, well, we need to find him first. What do you think we should do, kid? Yeah, so what you need to do is you need to find the soldiers at each of the sequences that they stop at certain sections of the town, the main drag of the town, this main street. You can't follow straight after them, because if you go straight after them, they'll just keep walking. You have to go along a bunch of different side streets so they don't know you're eavesdropping on them. And then you can talk to them, even though that's not really eavesdropping, but you can talk to them and then they'll say the next line of dialogue. And you keep doing that a couple of times, and eventually they'll get just about to where they need to go. After that point, actually I think it's the whole time, the game keeps track of your step counter. So, and then that will determine whether or not you can find Deumian. So, but yeah, you need to take side routes. And take the shortest route possible, which is why you want the map, because otherwise this won't work. So we're going to try to take a short, quote-unquote, route, but it's also a side path, so that's why we're going to take this one. All right, we're going to go down here, and then we want to go over here. You can chat with that guy freely and not have any problems. See, the soldiers are still here, so they haven't gone too far yet. So we're staying at pace with them, that's the point. So in order to keep going, don't talk to the old guy just yet, go down this way. We can talk to all these people later. We want to make sure that we don't miss out on the soldiers first. Let's go here. I mean, it is what it is. You guys have got to do what you have to do for peace, right? Alright, and then we got to go to the end of this hallway, go here, go down through here, go straight this way. And then go here, go down this way, have a chat. So his home is to the left of where these soldiers are. From this point on, you got to get to him in as short a route as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to do just that, hopefully. Hopefully I do this right. All right, so the sequence that we took will allow Deumian to go to his house with his mother. So now the soldiers are going to try to go there. You have to take less steps, the least amount of steps that you can after this in order to get to where he's going. Let me count how many steps we need to take before I take this dialogue off. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I think it's 10 steps up, so we're going to see in a second. All right, they'll leave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, this way, and then go down this hallway. And then go this way. So basically take the same path that Deumian took, then go this way, and you can get in just ahead of the soldiers, and if you manage to get in ahead of the soldiers like that, basically if you take too many more steps than what I just took, the soldiers will go into his house first, and they'll take him away before you can say goodbye to him. So that's why you want to take a specific number of steps. I was going to say, I mean, he's doing it for the peace of his whole town and to prevent this war, I suppose, but it does suck that he's the only one that has to bear this burden. And I guess he's committed to it. I don't think his mother's too happy about this, but... Me? What makes you think I'm any different from your mother? She's your flesh and blood, so... Huh. Okay, yeah, you too. I already told you that multiple times when you were a kid, but uh-oh. Guess it's time. And then he became the seal. And like I said, I don't think that sits very well with his mother. Huh. Kind of hard to see that because there's clouds in the way, and now you can't see it because it's the same color as the ground, but you see there's a little sparkle on the ground? Daemian must have dropped this. The Light of Hope. He dropped his hope on the ground? Well, that's not going to do him any good. How's he supposed to keep hope in his heart if he dropped the Light of Hope on the ground? So now you can go and talk to all the NPCs once you've got the Light of Hope. That tells you that you're at the end of this whole sequence and you have what you need in order to get the ultimate reward from this sequence. So, but the town that Daemian lived in is called Perseria, and I think if I remember correctly, the way that the lore works is that this is like many, many thousands of years before the events of Final Fantasy II. And I guess they get to make this reference in the process of doing all that, so that's fine. But, is this still locked? No, this one's not locked. Okay. Looks like Paul's house. Wonder what kind of divine beasts he's talking about. Yeah, this definitely looks like Paul's house. Like, it's almost the same layout and everything. Wow. I mean, it's like a combination of Paul's house and the Mysidian library, I guess, but, you know. So yeah, once you've got the Light of Hope, you have everything you need in order to get all the rewards out of the side quest. There are multiple rewards out of the Arcane Labyrinth, though. It's not just the one that we're going to be able to get by providing the Light of Hope when we see Daemian again. But we'll talk about the rewards when we actually get to the High Altar. We need to go to the High Altar first. In order to get there, we have to finish this labyrinth, and we have 2 key terms left from our major key terms from the story in order to get to the last floor. So we got to use Sunfire and Goddess's Bell, and then once we've used those, we can use Darkness, and that will be the last one that we need in order to spawn the boss. So we'll do that. Let's see. So Sunfire first, right? Yep. Let's do that. The other key terms, I know Sunfire and Fire are a combination, just like Dreadnought and Palamecia and Dragoons and Wyverns. I don't remember the other 2. I think one of them has to do with sorcery, and then I forget what the other one is. So the enemies around here aren't going to be too powerful. We want to look for this guy, though, on this floor, because he's looking for something to warm him up. So that's what the Fire Tome is for. Here you go. And this will give you a hint for the Goddess's Bell floor. Okay. So, not much of a hint, but basically what that means is if you go to the Goddess's Bell floor, you'll hear the jingling sound that the Goddess's Bell makes when you actually use it on the door in Kashuan Keep. The more often, basically it's like a proximity thing. The more often you hear the bell, the closer you are to his erstwhile love. And I think, if I remember correctly, she gives you a term if you find her. I think it's the Dense Fog term. Oh, I should have fought this battle. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to now because I can't run from them. Yeah, there's the Goblin Princes that I was talking about previously. What was in this slot? Huh. Oh, the Fire Tome. That's what was in that slot. Okay. Yeah, I guess you can find the Goblin Prince on the Sunfire floor. Maybe they have a higher encounter rate because I don't think... this seems like I've seen this combination before. Like, I got that combination the last time I was in here too. So unless I'm just lucky, which I guess is possible, you can probably fight the Goblin Princes at an increased rate here. In case you missed them for your bestiary earlier. Although you could just go into Kashuan Keep, I suppose, but you know. Either way, we could talk to his erstwhile love to hear the new key term she's going to give us, which, like I said, I think is the Dense Fog key term. But the nice thing about Goddess's Bell is that the exit is, like, right next to the entrance, so we can just literally walk directly there. As long as we hear the bell ringing out, we know she's still longing for him. And there it is. It's still ringing out. We're actually pretty close to it because it's ringing pretty quickly. I believe... Yeah, we're getting further away, so it's up. I believe it will always be on a wall. So I guess you could just use that as a way of knowing whether you're close. I mean, I guess I could just do this and use the wyvern, but I kind of want to just finish this up, so I think I might just go straight to it. Because the exit is directly above us. We know that his love is still here, and she's still longing for him, because otherwise the bell wouldn't ring, so... I guess that's enough. Oh, this isn't gonna, yeah, let me run, because the grenades were in a monster in a box at one point. I just saw the goblin guards in the balloon, and I figured, that's good enough. We can get out of here. And we can, we just need to, you know, use the right item. I don't know, Leon's HP is getting pretty high. We might not get in before he gets to 2,000 HP, but we'll see. Alright, anyway, the last term that we have in our list of terms here, let's use the Darkness term to spawn the boss of this area. Should be fairly fitting, considering what we're going to be fighting. It's another enemy that's exclusive to Soul of Rebirth, actually, just like the Dark Behemoth that we fought in Akmat Telois. So, let me just, I think I'm going to hype, let me do this. I probably shouldn't have sorted, because now all that stuff that I just got is going to be all over the place, but, you know, it's fine. Matter of fact, let's just top everybody off before we go. Our MP's good enough to finish this up, but let's finish it up, shall we? Let's see what you've got this time. A black dragon. So this one, like I said, is exclusive to Soul of Rebirth. You wouldn't normally fight this in the regular game, but here it is, so we're gonna fight it. Treat it like a boss, just like usual. Give Leon some more practice for Protect and Berserk, and we should be good. This one's pretty tough, though. It's got some pretty powerful attacks. It can use Flare 16 on you, just like Beelzebub did, so we're going to have to be careful of that. If what I would be doing if I went and bought the Shell Tomes from Mysidia is I'd probably, on my third turn, I'd probably have either Firion or Guy throw the Shell Tome, and then have the other one use Osmos in order to just lower all of the HP of, or not the HP, the MP of the guy that I'm fighting. So that's what I'm thinking the strat's going to be from here on. So technically it's 3 turns of setup, but it should be fine if we do it that way. I mean, to be fair, the third turn of setup is mostly just going to be Maria and, oh no, I got to use Shell. Well, I could have you practice Osmos, although it's at a pretty good level now, I think. Yeah, I'll just have you toss the Shell Tome. Well... Nah, you can practice it because it's at a lower level. We'll have Guy throw, or not. No, wait, hold on. I'm thinking too far ahead. You need to use Shell because you have Shell, so let's do that, then that. Then you can use Osmos since you've got it, even though you don't need the experience on it right now. It'll get you some MP back. Most of the MP back. I think he's used Flare 16 already, so I think that's the rest. And then you guys can go hog friggin' wild. Look at that damage. Oh my lord, he's already dead. What the hell? Okay, you need to stop! You need to... This is not even funny anymore. You need to stop! What are you doing, game? Oh my... What the hell? Do I even have room for that? You've got it, you've got it. I could give you one, but you're gonna be replacing that golden shield shortly anyway, so, like, I'm not sure if there's a point. And you don't need a shield, so, okay, fine. I guess we'll give it to you. Oh my god, okay. So anyway, now that that fiasco's over with, let's go back to Bofsk one last time, we'll rest up. And what I'll do is I'll probably go to Mysidia and I'll sell all of the junk that we got in there off screen, because we've pretty much got, like, what's our... I think the only other things that I would want to equip from here on out is stuff that I get in the Jade Passage and in Pandemonium itself. Yeah, because you're going to get a different shield, and probably there's a Protect Ring in there that I'm probably going to give to Guy. And then there's an item. There's one guaranteed ribbon in the game, and it's in Pandemonium, so I'm probably just going to give that to Maria. And then we'll go from there. But before we do that, we've gotten the 3 seals broken on the labyrinth, so let's report to the sanctuary, which is in the center of all 3 of the labyrinths. and then we can collect up our prize. So I suppose I can talk about the prize now, because the sanctuary has 10 floors of walking that you have to do in order to get to it. So we're going to have to walk that in just a second. So while I'm waiting... Oh, it's right here. Okay, so let's save. So while we're walking there, I'll talk about the rewards. So every key term that you use is associated with a character, is associated with each character in your party, and with each character out of your party in the game. The key terms are better for some characters than others. And depending on the words... Oh, by the way, there's all 3 of the lit day. If they aren't all lit up, this door will not be unlocked. And then here's the stairs that I was talking about. I gotta take a total of 10 of these in order to get there. You'll know when you're at the bottom, because you'll spawn at the very bottom of the stairs right here, instead of on the stairs. So that's how you know you're at the bottom. So each key term is better or worse for certain characters. What happens is the game keeps a running tally of the key terms that you use and how good or bad they are for each character. It could be worth 0 points to a character, each key term, or it could be worth up to 5 points. At the end of all 3 of the labyrinths, the character that has the highest number of points, if you beat the boss that you fight here and then you say a key term, it doesn't matter which key term you say, with 2 exceptions. You can say a term to the person we're going to meet at the bottom of this, and they will give you the weapon. It's a unique weapon, and it's associated with a specific character. Now, the problem is that this unique weapon is a very specific type of weapon that's based on the weapons that the characters had equipped when they first were recruited to the party. So, like, Firion will always get an ultimate sword from this. Maria will always get an ultimate bow. Guy will always get an ultimate axe, and so on. The only exception is Joseph. He gets an ultimate knife instead of an ultimate unarmed, because you can't have an ultimate bare fist. You already have your bare fists. So they already get ultimate by just virtue of getting stronger. So there we go. So we're at the bottom of the stairs, so this is the end of the whole thing. Like I said, there's 2 exceptions to the words, but we'll talk about those exceptions once we actually get in here, because we're at the high altar now. So let's take a look at what we've got here. Ah, I know you! I'm surprised. I would have figured maybe it's been too long. You don't remember me. We know very many words. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, just like the Fire Gigas, I can't turn back now. I mean, actually I came here to let you acquire something because you dropped something. Unfortunately, he's not having any of it, and in order to even talk to him about the thing that he dropped, or anything else, he has to test your might. With a monster. Aw, mini behemoth. Whoa, holy crap, that's not mini! Yeah, so in order to even have a chat with Deumian, you have to fight his pet, Frakios, first. So that's what we'll do. It's the same strat as every other boss fight in this game. What a goddamn shock. Oh boy. Frakios does have some really powerful attacks, though. He's probably about as strong as in this form, so he changes depending on when you fight him. He's weaker if you fight him earlier in the game, like if you go through the whole labyrinth way earlier. If you go here with only 4 key terms, he'll only be about twice as strong as the sergeant you fight in Summit Falls, and he only has a regular physical attack. But fighting him at the end game like this, he's got more HP than the final boss, and he uses some of the similar techniques that the final boss has. We might even see a couple of them. Like that one! Starfall 16! Meteors of Vicaren! Unleash thy fury! I don't think it was Vicaren, but, you know. Ow! Yeah, like 600 damage to the whole party. Holy hell, let's put Shell up so we can avoid that. That's a mess. Well, maybe I don't need a Shell because I'm just going to Osmos away his MP, but, you know. Just for the sake of doing it, why not? I don't know if that's all his MP, actually. I think he has like 1,000 MP or something like that. They finally gave the enemies enough MP to actually do something. Well, that's good. Alright, but anyway, I think that's good enough. Let's just go all out. We'll use Holy, we'll use Flare. I'm going to leave everybody at the HP they're at. We should, with a Shell, be able to survive another Starfall 16 pretty handily, so. And like I said, I want to say he has like 20,000 HP. I could be wrong about that, but I want to say that's the amount. So it's going to take a little while to carve through it. It doesn't look like we got, well, you got a mess of friggin' berserks, but Leon only got a couple, so that's okay. We've got elemental resistance all around at this point, though. As a matter of fact, he's so big, let's make a target all. It'll look better because he's so large, so. See? It'll hit all parts of his body. It won't do more damage, but Okay, well, never mind. He doesn't have enough HP. That's one thing I would do in Final Fantasy II. If I ever got my hands on modding tools for this version of the game, I would give the enemies a lot more HP. Like, I'd probably give him about twice the HP that he has, just because then, I mean, it wouldn't be a much tougher fight, but you probably wouldn't be able to just run in here with 1100 HP like I have on Firion and be fine. You'd probably have to get HP and everything else a little bit quicker. So I'd probably have to change around the mechanics a little bit to give you more HP. I don't know, I'd figure it out. So, well, yeah, I mean, we know all these terms. We know them because of our experience. We wouldn't just go to a library and learn all this stuff. That is the question, isn't it? So, at this point, you can ask Dayumian a whole bunch of your key terms. Like I said before, any of the key terms will work in order to get you the ultimate weapon that you could get. For what it's worth, there's a calculator online that you can actually input all of the different key terms you're going to use running through the labyrinth, and it'll tell you who would get their ultimate weapon. I inputted the words we used here, and it would actually give us Firion's ultimate weapon, which is the Ragnarok sword. The ultimate weapons that you get from these side quests are really powerful as well. They give you, like, really large stat boosts. I don't really know how much Firion's gives. It probably gives like a massive strength and agility boost though, because he's the first party member, and his agility usually is taken into account when it comes to preemptive strikes in all versions of the game. So, but there are two exceptions to this rule. The two exceptions are the words hope and destruction. You can ask him about Guardian, Oblivion, anything else that you want, but if you ask him about destruction, he will assume, rightfully so, that you're here to take the ultimate magic that he's guarding, which is not the Ultima Tome, it's the Destroy Tome. It kills everything on screen except for the caster, and leaves the caster with 1 HP and 0 MP. That includes all your allies as well, so good luck with that one. I guess you could use it to power level somebody's stamina, magic, HP, and MP, but not really a big fan of that one. However, if you talk to him about hope instead, you'll get a new line of dialogue from this one. But it's not enough to have just done the hope floor, because he'll need proof that you have hope still in your heart. He left his behind when he became the seal bearer. So, once you've told him about hope, he'll ask you for proof. You show him the light of hope. Hold on. Where is it? All the way down, probably. There it is, over my golden shield. How did you... never mind, you guys were monstrously more powerful on magic than we were, so you could probably leave behind your memories and be perfectly okay. What kind of power are we talking about? So he'll give you a different tome, not the Destroy Tome, but a tome holding the light of hope in its heart. He gives you the light of hope back for what it's worth, by the way. He doesn't keep it. He just gives that back to you as sort of a proof of his approval, and then stays here for all eternity. But he also gives you the Revive Tome, which is the kind of the opposite of the Destroy Tome. It actually behaves a little bit more, in my opinion, like time magic than it does like anything else. It's basically the return spell from Final Fantasy V. It gives back all HP and all MP to everyone on the field that is still present, including enemies. So your enemies will be fully restored, your allies will be fully restored. It costs all of your MP to cast as well, so that's quite expensive. So basically, everybody ends up with full HP. Whoever's left on the field gets full HP. Excuse me. Everyone except the caster gets full MP as well. Now, what you can do with it is you can kind of use it as a sort of get-out-of-jail-free card in certain cases, because let's say you run across a big pack of monsters. You can kill a whole bunch of them. Once they're dead, they're dead. Revive doesn't bring them back, because it only brings back the ones that you can currently see on the field. If you already killed them, they won't come back. And then if you need to heal, you can just use Revive, and then that'll put you at 0 MP, so the caster will have a high chance of raising their magic and their MP for that battle. I'm probably not going to use it. It's cool, but I mean, we'll have a chance to use Return later when we play Final Fantasy V, so I think that's enough, you know. You keep doing that, Dayumian. That should give you the hope that you need in order to keep doing it for all eternity. God, that's a fate worse than death if ever there was one. Now, unfortunately, the Arcane Sanctuary is not a place where teleport or warp can work. Generally, if teleport doesn't work, warp also doesn't. So if you want to leave after taking care of whatever you took care of here, you have to go all the way back up, all 10 flights of stairs. So good luck walking. You can get ultimate weapons from Dayumian for as long as you want after this point, because what'll happen is once we get to the top, the days will unlight, so then you can go and continue to do the labyrinths as many times as you want. The exception is if you talk to him about destruction, because if you talk to him about destruction, he will fight you. Dayumian will fight you. He's only slightly stronger than Frakios, though, so if you fought Frakios and you didn't have a hard time like we did, you'll probably be exactly the same against Dayumian himself. He's got like 30,000 HP. A little bit higher stats than the highest level Frakios, which is the one that we fought. Not too much of a problem, honestly. Alright, we're out. And basically, once we leave this screen and we go back outside, these days will unlight, and then we can go back to the labyrinths. If you ask him about the Revive Tome, though, he'll never give you the Destroy Tome. Destruction becomes just like every other term. It'll give you the ultimate weapon that you get from doing the areas. So basically, Destroy and Revive are mutually exclusive. Once you get one, you can't get the other. Destroy by virtue of the fact that you kill Dayumian in order to get the Destroy Tome, and Revive by virtue of the fact that you show him that you have the Light of Hope. So he will say, okay, well, you don't need Destroy anymore. So there you go. And that's the Arcane Labyrinth. Like I said, I like that one a lot better than Final Fantasy I's Labyrinth of Time. It's just easier to micromanage. You can manage the encounter rate as well in this one, which you couldn't do in the Labyrinth of Time as far as I'm aware in Final Fantasy I. So that, to me, is just like icing on the cake. It's not too difficult. The objectives are fairly self-explanatory, I think, in most cases. The Soul one, I still don't know what the hell to do, but yeah, no, I have fun with the Arcane Labyrinth, and I can't say the same about the Labyrinth of Time or most of the post-game content in most Final Fantasies, so yeah, I don't know, this one's probably... It's kind of weird to say it, but out of all the post-game Final Fantasy bonus content, this one's probably my favorite. But that's not really saying much, because I don't like most post-game content in Final Fantasy games, so, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so, Mysidia. We will end the stream here. Let me go to the inn first. What I'll do is I will sell off all of my stuff. As a matter of fact, you know, I'll do it on screen, because why the hell not? I'll just save before I sell the stuff in case I accidentally sell the Revive Tome or the Ultimate Tome. We don't want to do that. But we've got some time. I mean, it'll be a 3-hour stream, but that's fine. We'll just buy our supplies, and we will save right outside the Jade Passage, and then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll finish this up. Alright, so let me save right here, just in case of bullshittery. Because you never know, I might be monumentally stupid and do something that I would regret immediately, so... Do I need high potions? Yeah, I could use just a few, so let's just grab up to 5. I can sell the regular potions off now, I don't need those. I don't think I need any ethers either. Yeah, no, I actually ended with more ethers than I started with, so let's... Alright, we don't need those anymore. We can get rid of one of those because we have an extra. Elixirs, that's fine. We can get rid of these. And then these. I think we're good everywhere else. Yep. Cottages, I won't need any more of those because you can't use a cottage in Hell, unfortunately. There's no world map in Hell for you to use a cottage in, unfortunately, so that's not really going to help us. We'll keep the Unicorn Horns and the Sage's Wisdoms. I might be able to use them. I might hold on to the Mithril Mirror just for the hell of it, honestly. Like, it might be worth just using at a certain point, because if it's wall 16, like I think it is, it'll block all black magic up to level 16, so if we have an enemy that's using that, I could use the Mithril Mirror instead of using Osmos, I think, and it might work out pretty nicely. We'll see. I don't really use wall very much, so it'll kind of be an experiment, I guess. Why not? Alright, don't need these Toad Tomes anymore, so we can get rid of those. Death Tome. Don't need the Haste Tome. Don't need any of these 3 Cure Tomes. Don't need the Aura Tomes. Don't need the Warp Tome. Don't need the 4 Life Tomes that I grabbed. We could use the Barrier Tome the same way as we're using the Shell Tome, honestly. Let me see, how many bosses are left? There's... 1, 2... I want to say 3 more in the Jade Passage, and then 5... Yeah, 5 in Pandemonium. So I could just buy 7 more Barrier Tomes, and then I could just get rid of Barrier and Shell on Furion. He doesn't need them anymore, so... Oh, you can't sell the Revive Tome, so there you go. You just keep it as a badge of honor, I suppose, to say, hey, I did this for Dayumian. Get rid of the Ripper, or Calcum, don't need the Power Staff, Wizard Staff, Healing Staff, Javelin, any of that stuff. They can sell all of it, we don't need it. And And then I don't think I need to even be shopping here anymore because I don't think I need to buy anything else. I guess I could buy a few more elixirs so we have more full heals, but, you know. Let's see what else we've got here. Anything else that I could need? No, it doesn't look like it. The Yoichi's bow, by the way, casts Berserk if you use it as an item, but it's a target all version of Berserk, so it's not particularly strong. It'll give you maybe like 1 layer of Berserk at the most. So I would use it for damage, not for the spell it casts. Honestly, I feel that way about most items in the game, because most items in the game, if you use them for the spells they cast, they're target all versions of the spell. So unless that spell is something like Shell or Barrier or something like that, that's like, okay, I could raise this myself, or I could just, you know, it's got a good enough hit rate when you just use it to not have to worry about raising it yourself. I'd rather do it that way than trying to do it the other way where it's like, okay, I'll just use it, you know. I hope that made sense. Rather than raising it myself, I'd rather just cast it from a tome because it's just a little easier, so. Alright, so I will go over here first. We'll buy the barrier tomes, so I need a total of 8, so buy 7 of these. That didn't really chunk out of my wallet at all. I mean, I could buy holy tomes and use them as like nukes or something, but that wouldn't really work. Because again, when you throw these tomes, they cast as if you have, you know, as if you have 40 to 50 spirit or intelligence, so they're not particularly strong, but I'm going to buy 15 shell tomes. I don't think we'll need that many, but I have so much money at this point it doesn't matter, so I think we'll be fine using them. And with that, we will go to Furion's magic menu. We'll move Osmos and Holy up. Take Shell, we'll take Barrier, and we will discard. Discard from the pile. So now he's just got 6 spells, and that's fine. Guy's got 8. That'll work. So there's a lot of white magic in this game, but honestly, not a whole ton of it is, like, at least to me, not a whole ton of it is particularly useful because, well, like I just showed you, you can just buy some of it for dirt cheap and use it instead. Hell, I'm not even sure if I need Cure all that, honestly. I mean, I'm using it, but, like, we could get away with using high potions with this kind of HP, or just throwing Cure Tomes occasionally, and we get a similar effect for, you know, 100 gil apiece. Can't really go wrong. So, alright, how many elixirs can I buy with my current money? Quite a lot. I can buy 2 times 9, 18 more. I think I don't need to buy 18 more. Let's buy enough for 6 heals. How about that? And then I can hold on to the... Well, maybe I'll buy 7 heals. 7 heals will do that. So I'm not holding on to quite as much gil. It's too bad I don't have access to gil toss or something like that. That'd be nice. Yeah, because there's 8 bosses left, so if I have 7 heals, I can use them after each boss and then be fine, or right before each boss and be fine. Okay, so our supplies are ready. We've beaten the entirety of the Arcane Labyrinth. Unlike the Dawn of Souls stuff from Final Fantasy I, this bonus dungeon does not get you ridiculously overpowered new equipment that will let you demolish the final boss. So we're going to have to rely on our own wits in order to take down the Emperor when we head to Hell on the finale of Final Fantasy II The Stream Edition, which will be happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then next week we will start and probably finish covering Soul of Rebirth. It's only about a 7-hour-long campaign, Soul of Rebirth, so I don't think it'll take too long to do. But we'll see. You never know, right? So we'll see what happens next week. I mean, I've got time. I don't start school again until July 9th, and I was kind of hoping to be done with this project before then. Should have plenty of time to do that. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be the finale tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. Right, before I dive right into Hell, I didn't sell anything that I shouldn't have, right? Probably could have sold this, but I could teach Revive or Ultima to somebody as well, but I have another plan for the Ultima Tome, like I said, and I don't think we can use the Revive Tome as an item. I guess if I needed to, it wouldn't be a bad get-out-of-jail-free card, but something tells me Dayumian didn't want me to use it for that, so maybe I'll honor his wishes.